welcome back to the Kit and Krysta podcast, episode 44.
That's right.
Still very festive.
More festive than ever.
Than ever.
Yes.
Than ever. We are so excited because this week we have a very special guest join us for a very special story time. Roger of RogersBase's.
Of RogersBase's, yes.
We have been great friends with Roger for a really long time, and he was a part of a really fun Nintendo Minute when we surprised him with Nintendo Switch 3 months before it came out.
Yeah, that was a really fun thing that we did. And yeah, we were just in Southern California for the Game Awards, so we had to swing by RogersBase's.
Literally his base.
Yeah.
Like his house.
And we did that great segment you'll be hearing soon.
Yeah, very excited to have gone back to LA to see him in person.
Yeah.
As usual, everything that you see here is brought to you by our wonderful Patreon family. Thank you so much for all your support. You're making all of this possible. And if you want to join us, we are at patreon.com/KitandKrysta for as low as $2.
Two really exciting things happening in the world of our Patreon.
Oh.
This weekend, we are having our December meetup. A little earlier than usual, because we got to get ahead of the holidays. Mm-hmm. We're going to be playing the new Mario Kart 8 Deluxe tracks online together.
That's going to be really fun. We've had a special request from the community to do a Krystopians versus the Kitterati.
Is that what we're doing?
And they want to do
I didn't know that.
Custom item. You haven't been paying attention to
I
Discord.
didn't see that.
They want to do custom items because you can do that now.
Yes.
Like all red shells versus all green shells.
Okay, that's interesting.
So that is what they want to do. And I am all for it. So
that'll be fun.
It's going to be really fun and chaotic.
The next thing that's very exciting is we are getting ready for our big Game of the Year episode, which will be
I'm so excited about
next week on this very podcast that you are listening to.
Mm-hmm.
And
it's going to be a big one.
We're going to be revealing our picks. Yes, we've been going through these categories. We have over 20 categories.
Yes.
Some of which are super, super fun.
Yeah.
Of course, and we got the usual
ones,
stuff. Like,
but we all have the zany ones too.
We got zany ones too. And in addition to our picks, we're doing Patreon community picks. Mm-hmm. So you all, by now, the polls are live on our Patreon. But you can,
very exciting.
Through the weekend, you can vote for what you think the winner for these categories should be. So make your voice heard.
Exactly.
Those are available.
To share your picks alongside ours. It's going to be really fun.
Yeah, if you want to vote, that's available at the $2 a month tier.
Yes. Come join us. We're going to have such a fun time discussing everyone's end of year thoughts and feelings. And it's going to be great. We had a very busy week last week, a very fun,
we sure did.
Amazing, busy week. You were saying we were at the Game Awards, so we went down to LA. We got to meet with Roger, obviously, and we shot a bunch of cool videos with Roger. But we also got to see some other really important people in our lives, including Reggie.
That's right.
It's always fun when we get to catch up with Reggie. We saw him last at PAX, and it was really nice. He's obviously presented an award at the Game Awards, so we got a chance to catch up with him as well, and it was really great.
I think we both had the same reaction of, like, we're still trying to come to grips with, like, what is our post-Nintendo relationship with Reggie?
I know.
Because before, he's the big boss.
Yeah, he's like this big authority figure. Obviously, he's always going to be that to us to some degree, but now it's more... You know, it's more of a friendship than ever, and I just never, in my wildest imagination, have ever thought that I could call someone like Reggie a friend.
I know.
And it's just like, I still have trouble wrapping my head around that a little bit, but I'm just so grateful. It's just wonderful.
Yeah, we couldn't be luckier to know him. But yeah, it was like equal parts just hanging out, good time, equal part getting his great advice.
Always,
on, stuff that's going on in our world. We hear about what's going on in his world.
Exactly.
Yeah, really, really lucky to know him.
Yeah, really nice just to catch up with Reggie. And then we also went to a great event right before the Game Awards, this really fun Xbox mixer.
Yeah.
And we saw tons of people there as well that we haven't seen. We really just realized once we got there, we hadn't seen these people in person for like a long time. That
really was the group of people that we hadn't seen since the pandemic.
Yeah.
And it was a lot of like media and content creators. And people, came up to us like, hey, congratulations on doing your thing. Like me, I'm paranoid. Like, do people know what we're doing? Do people care?
I know.
But it was nice to hear. So, people like Dan Reichert, who took a great photo of us.
Oh, yeah. He was the photo.
He was the photographer.
Yes. Good angles, Dan.
Jeff
Thank
Gerstmann.
you.
So people, that we really support and love.
And look up to.
And frankly,
Miller,
look up to. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So that was really great.
for me, it was very validating, and it was always nice to see people in person again and just feel like, oh, you know, we're still here, we're still like doing the stuff that we love, and it's really nice to kind of celebrate this industry or whatever.
Yeah. We did also go on a little spy mission to try and scope out Super Nintendo World. That part of it was a bit of a bust.
But we did have some really fun success with the Super Nintendo World store.
Well, let's talk about the bust part first.
Oh, you really want to focus on the negative.
There's all those, like, these spy cam shots of the park.
We need a drone or something.
And I was wondering, could we do that? Because if you look at a map, there's a road that just kind of goes around Universal Studios.
All those roads were closed.
They were closed, or there were scary-looking security people that you didn't want to talk to.
Lots of gates.
So we were like looking from every angle, like what's the highest vantage point we could get to? Turns out, I think you need to be in the park to get those shots.
Yeah, sounds like you have to be in the park. There's an escalator. It sounds like, well, once you're inside the park, it gives you some of those aerial views. But, you know, at this point, we're so close. We're only a few months away, really, if you think about it.
I don't think we would have seen anything that hasn't already been shown.
Right, we were excited, but yeah.
And yeah, they say early 2023, so I'm assuming that's like the first quarter of the year.
Exactly.
So we are super close to that anyway.
We're going back, like, immediately.
Yeah, but we did find this store that I had heard about, which was in the Universal City Walk, which is kind of connected to the park.
You don't need a ticket to get in there or anything like that.
Well, you do need to pay a hefty parking price. We paid a lot for that parking spot.
It's okay. It was
and they said, oh, are you going to eat here? You can validate your parking. We had just eaten lunch, so sorry, no.
And also, we're not eating at, like, Rainforest Cafe or whatever.
That's your favorite place.
That's my favorite place.
Can't. Oh, I can't believe you just did that.
That's what I'm saying. We're not.
You would love to eat at the Rainforest Cafe.
Like, we're not eating at the Rainforest Cafe or anything.
You said that as a put down.
No, so that I didn't want to eat there because
I'm on to your games.
What games? I love the Rainforest Cafe. Okay. This is a known.
I made you say it. Good.
Fact about me.
But the store, though, I was really impressed with this store.
I couldn't believe how big the store was.
It was big.
And it was like Nintendo New York.
And it had all exclusive things. We have some things here.
Yeah, so we got
these Mario Kart signs, and then this.
Chef
hopefully
Toad.
you can see. I'm not going to touch that.
Don't touch Chef Toad.
It's going to all fall apart. Chef Toad.
Chef Toad is so cute. I've never seen Chef Toad anywhere else.
Well, he's only
the cafe,
Universal.
The cafe mascot.
Right.
That's why he's at Universal.
Exactly.
But everything is branded Super Nintendo World. They have, they even have like exclusive plushies that look different.
They look a little bit different.
The plushies that you would get anywhere else.
Yeah.
So, I was very surprised at the care they took to make everything really different and special.
Yeah.
So we went on a bit of a shopping spree for the studio, and I really like the stuff that we got. It's so cute.
Yeah, it
Cool.
is a great. And people are like, oh, there's only one official Nintendo store. It's in New York. So it's, you know, if I'm not in New York, it's hard to get to. Like, consider this an official.
Yeah.
I'd say the quality of the merchandise is at least as good as Nintendo New York.
It's completely like, you know, on par with that.
Nintendo New York is a little bit bigger, but they do have a lot of space dedicated to like buying games. Do you want to buy a Switch? It's like, that's nice, but I can also get a Switch anywhere.
Like, you can get it online.
Right.
This is like, just if you want like really cool merch.
Right.
Like, come here and get it. Yeah, can't wait to go to the park next year and really like dig into that next year. But it was nice to get a little teaser of that when we were in LA.
So if our Los Angeles adventures sound interesting, guess what? We have a vlog.
It's live now.
Which is out now.
Please watch.
Which you can watch.
Yes, you can.
You.
There.
Listener. Viewer.
You know, it's no surprise. I think we said this a lot, but vlogs are some of our favorite videos to make. Yeah. And I edited this vlog like right after, like during the game, during the days.
Good job by you. You turned this around super fast.
It was so fun to edit this. It's like basically like writing your diary of like this great fun trip with all these great memories that you had, and putting that into like a video format was so nice. And it was actually really fun to do it while like I was editing on day 2, or on day 1 stuff.
Very fresh in your mind.
It was really nice. Yeah. So please watch it because I'm really proud of it. I think we both really love it. Yeah. And we want you guys to watch it. So.
Right.
Yeah.
While we were visiting Roger, we also did a fun video for his channel.
Oh my gosh,
which I believe is out. I believe is out now.
Yes.
So check it out.
Check it out on Roger's YouTube channel.
He made us do the ultimate Nintendo Switch tier list of all the first-party games.
His idea for this was very fun, though.
It was a good idea.
Yeah, so we had all these different tiers. He had listed all the first-party published games.
Right.
Some
with a few
There's some discussion. Go watch the video.
A few
there was
quirks.
a little drama.
Yeah.
And then he had these things called like a poison mushroom
Right.
or a boost mushroom, where you could use to like, let's say someone put something in a category, in a tier that's too low for you.
So let's say, for example, some whack job had Mario Odyssey in like the B tier.
You're like, no, this needs to be S+.
I need to fix this.
So you can use your boost mushroom to boost it. But you can also use a poison mushroom to put it down. If some wacko put Labo VR kit in like some high tier, you can use it to push it down to a lower tier. So needless to say, there was some drama. There was a moment where I thought I was going to be kicked out of Roger's house. He was very upset.
Legit mad at you.
He was legit upset with me.
Yeah.
I was surprised.
And after the filming stopped, he was like stomping around ranting.
He was.
At you.
And then he was like still for like hours afterwards.
Funny.
He was still upset. Maybe he's still upset with me now. I don't know. I think I might have broke his heart a little bit. So I'm sorry, Roger. Anyways, go watch the video because it's hilarious.
Yes. Coming up on Super Kit and Krysta 64, we hear from people because it's the holidays.
Yeah,
people say,
yeah.
I really miss the videos you did on Nintendo Minute when you do like a holiday shopping spree.
I love those
And those were
videos.
super fun. And actually, our best, if you just count the views, our best video ever was one of those videos.
The Best Buy one.
The Best Buy. How
Yeah.
much can you carry?
Yeah.
Which I won.
You did win. You had longer arms than me.
It's a good reason to watch that video.
Yeah. I mean, all of the stuff was donated to charity, so it was a good cause.
Right.
But we thought we'd bring back an element of that.
Right.
And do a fun holiday shopping vlog.
Right. So the idea for this one is we're going to be visiting 3 stores. Target, Best Buy, GameStop.
Yes.
And we're going to randomly select the price for a gift, a video game gift that we need to buy from each of these stores, and we'll see what the best gift we can get at that price level is.
That's right.
At those stores.
I think it would be really hard, for example, to get a $5 gift at Best Buy
We don't have a $5 tier.
or whatever. As an example, like
Maybe
if you
that's your budget when you go shopping.
when you have like a lower
Cheapskate here.
monetary. We all don't have wham just sitting around. Okay, we're not Mr. Moneybags.
Wow. All right.
You're like embezzling money from my business. Aren't
$5
you?
to $10. So it's not a big
What were
difference.
the tiers again?
10, 20, 50. 10, 20, 50.
Okay,
yes.
so say the $10, the lowest money tier, I think it would be hard at a Best Buy.
Yeah.
So if you randomly draw that might be a bit of a challenge.
That's
for
true.
you.
Yeah.
So anyway, so we're gonna do that. And as part of that video, there's going to be a very special giveaway.
Really great giveaway that you will want
special.
you will want to
You
get
will
this.
want this.
Yes.
So you have to stay tuned to see.
Yes. This is something that was given to us by a very special person.
Exactly.
And that's all we can say right now.
Yeah, and it's one of a kind.
Yes.
So. All right. What else is going on? Oh my gosh, there's so much happening.
We talked about the Game of the Year stuff.
That's going to be a big chunky episode. That's going to be the whole
That's all we're doing.
episode.
Yes.
The whole
So, stuff like Storytime and what we're playing, we're just going to push that out to the next week.
Yeah.
And we're going to keep doing episodes through the holiday.
We are.
Yes.
It might be a little shorter.
Right.
Like the week of Christmas, but we'll be around.
Yes.
You won't miss us too much, hopefully.
And the last thing, I don't know if this was on your radar.
I saw this pop up for me.
Saturday
Yeah.
is the anniversary of the final episode of Nintendo Minute. It's
I
been
know.
1 year.
It's been exactly 1 year.
1 year. Can you believe it?
I can't. Really.
That feels like a really long time ago, I
It
have to
really
say.
does. Oh my
Wow.
God. It really does. It feels
Yeah.
like forever ago. We were different people
there's
back
a lot
then.
that's happened in a year. Wow.
I'm proud of us.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was such an interesting stretch of time because we had learned about the office, closing, and then we had both made our decisions to leave Nintendo, and we were doing all this like wrap up stuff, like let's wrap it up before we all left our jobs of 14 plus years at the end of the year. And yeah, it was a very emotional time, and then like a very hopeful time as we started this thing.
Right.
Our 1 year anniversary for this is coming up in a couple of months.
Couple more months.
Which is exciting.
Right.
But it all sort of happened within this stretch of
Yeah,
time.
I mean, when we released the final Nintendo Minute, we knew that we would not be staying at Nintendo. We couldn't say that then.
Right.
So we knew that was the other shoe to drop, so to speak.
Yes. It was very soon afterwards. I think that we both announced.
Yeah, it was in January.
In January.
Yeah, we made the wise decision of when that episode came out, we made sure to be in the same place.
Yeah.
To support each other.
Emotional support.
Mostly me supporting you.
I cried a lot.
But that was really a pretty pivotal point in like confirming, starting Kit and Krysta was the right thing. Because
exactly.
like the outpouring of love was like way more than we expected.
It was like I was so overwhelmed by that, and it was very encouraging as we like went into this new venture to know that we have this amazing community. And again, like I've always said that the sad part of Nintendo Minute ending wasn't Nintendo Minute ending, like I wouldn't be able to film videos, but more so like the community part of it.
Right.
So because we retain that with this, it's like it's actually not that sad anyway. You know, it's actually not that sad at all.
Right,
so,
right.
So it's been awesome. But that was a interesting couple of months of emotional roller coasters. But yeah, I can't believe it's been a year.
I know.
I did on my phone. It was like your memories from like a year ago.
Oh no!
And it was all those photos that we took in the studio.
Oh.
And I was like, oh my gosh, is that when we filmed?
Have we released all those?
I don't think.
I don't think we did. We should get some of those out there.
There was like a pie that producer Stephanie got for us.
Right.
A goodbye pie.
There was a whole extra segment to that video that had the crew in it.
Yeah.
That we did not use.
I have them.
Why didn't we use that?
I think maybe Nintendo didn't want
I think you didn't want to do it.
No, it wasn't me.
I don't remember them saying anything.
I don't know.
I don't think it was in any of those
Are we
cuts.
allowed to release
The conspiracy is back.
I was actually with producer Stephanie over the weekend.
Oh.
And we were just talking about that.
Yeah.
Because we had lunch together.
Right.
So anyways, yeah, I have a lot of like random.
Did you pay her back all that money you owe her?
She paid me back all the money she
You're
owed
always
me.
borrowing people's money. You don't pay them back.
I have her Wii U actually. It's sitting right there.
Why? So random.
I have a lot of her random things. But yes, we do have a lot of extras from when we shot that episode.
Yeah, we should get those
We should
out.
release it at some point.
This episode is brought to you by ExpressVPN.
Oh,
we love
boy.
ExpressVPN. Let me just say, using the internet without ExpressVPN is like just leaving your car on the curbside while you run into the grocery store with the keys in it and running.
Yeah,
maybe it'll be okay,
don't
but
do
you don't
it.
you don't know what's going to happen.
Don't do it.
Anything could happen.
It is actually more dangerous than you think it is. I think, every time you connect to any sort of unencrypted network.
Right.
Again, we were just traveling last week in a hotel.
This was on my mind, yes.
Yeah, we were, at the hotel. I was absolutely on the hotel Wi-Fi trying to edit a vlog.
Right.
And doing all sorts of things. So if you're there, anybody can gain access to your personal information.
Yes.
So make sure you protect yourself with ExpressVPN.
Right. While we were there, I thought I need to do some Christmas shopping. But, if you don't have ExpressVPN, that can be a little bit dicey if you're on that unprotected network.
Yeah, exactly. And of course, ExpressVPN creates a very secure tunnel for you so that you don't have any of those issues with hackers, with people accessing your personal information, or with those ads tracking you as well, which you don't want that. That's annoying.
Again,
especially with your Christmas shopping.
Also, again, we have been researching video game butts of the year for our Game of the Year podcast. I love ExpressVPN when I'm doing that.
Yeah, you don't want your mom to
deepen my
look
research.
At your browser history.
Oh dear.
Kid, what are you looking at? What's a video game butt?
It's a very legitimate reason, but not everybody understands.
She's gonna want to ask you a couple of questions.
No. Secure your online data today by visiting expressvpn.com/KitKrysta. That's EXPRESSVPN.com/KitKrysta. And you can get an extra 3 months for free. expressvpn.com/KitKrysta.
The link is here and also in the description below.
Great.
Exciting stuff.
Yeah.
All right. Since we have been shopping with our very
you might be wondering
networks,
what's happening here.
Yeah, we have presents.
We're doing a little
gift exchange.
Gift opening right now.
If you're not watching, we will describe the gifts.
Yes,
to
if
you.
you're on audio.
Yeah.
You can
get a little. Yeah. You can get a little ASMR.
Wait, why am I holding the gift to you?
Yeah, that's
like I'm gonna.
Let's trade.
I'm gonna open the one for you.
Okay.
I think I win the wrapping paper award already.
Oh, the wrapping paper is very cute.
It's very cute.
Mine
yeah.
is very
And yours has no. You didn't even write my name on it.
Well, it's for you.
Is this, or is this just some random thing you picked up? Like, well, this could be for anybody.
Oh,
yeah, I could give this to my, postman or something. I don't know.
Just generic gift.
Yeah.
A box of C's candy.
So the shake test.
There's something in here.
This is like something in a bigger box.
Yeah, exactly.
Is it?
Yeah.
That's not.
That's
very
though.
secure. I think I want you to open yours first. This is something that you have expressed. Let me just give a little setup. You have expressed a lot of interest in over the past year.
Really?
You have wondered if it exists. It absolutely exists.
Oh, I know what this is.
And
I know what this is.
And I think you're going to love it.
I know what this is.
That's all I'm going to say.
Can I guess it?
No.
Okay.
If it's what you think it is, you can say that afterwards. But do not say it now.
I think I know exactly what this is.
Well, let's see.
And I'm really excited. I just have to tell you, I'm really excited. Yes! It's a Tamagotchi!
And it's the original
That's the one.
20th anniversary.
Yes.
Or 25th anniversary.
This is the one that oh, this is so cute.
Yeah.
Oh, it's clear. Oh my gosh. Look at it.
Yeah.
That's the chicken. That's what the chicken used to look like.
Let's hold it up here. There we go.
Oh my gosh, it's so cool. I'm in.
This should be exactly like the one that you have.
It says Gen 1. This is exactly what this is. The original virtual reality pet.
Right.
25th anniversary. 25th anniversary. Oh, that's
Let me tell you, there are a lot of Tamagotchis out there.
I bet you there's so many. It's hard to find the original one, you know?
There's a lot of different versions.
This is cute. This is a good like little purse charm. You just put it on your...
I mean, hopefully this thing survives a week. Hopefully next week it's still with us.
Oh my gosh, it's going to be... Oh, that's where you can play the little baseball game with it and give it shots. Like,
we're going to be doing Game of the Year. You're going to be doing little games with the Tamagotchi.
It's going to be like beeping at me. I used to put this in my backpack, you know, like at when I was like a kid.
Yeah.
Now I have to put it on my purse. I'm a big girl, you know? Thank you. I really love this.
Yeah.
This is awesome. Wow.
All year long, I'm like, she's going to just get this. But you kept on like, does this exist? Do Tamagotchis still exist?
Well, I know that there's a lot of different ones, but I wasn't sure if the original Tamagotchi
this is what people want.
Well, now they do because it's like very nostalgic for them, and this is everyone's childhood back in the 90s.
So can you, on the back, they have all these, you won't even let go of it.
They have things that you can do. You can feed it.
Well, hold on.
What?
So there's like this little penguin, whatever this is, and then this. Do you pick the one?
Which character do you want to get?
Oh, you do? Well, that's neat. Oh, discipline? That's all you're going to be doing.
Sometimes it poops in your house.
Bad.
And you need to tell it to stop. Which one do you think? No, I want the chicken.
I don't know.
The original chicken.
All right.
That is the one. I remember the little chicken was like very special
which
to
one?
me.
This one?
Yeah, the one that's literally on this thing.
Okay.
Because that's what they know that's the
cute.
original one.
Yeah.
But it's cute that you can choose the other characters too.
Right.
But yeah, it's got to be the chicken.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
Wow, that's awesome.
There you go.
Tamagotchi.
Slam dunk for me. I'm very curious about this box in a box. Let's see what we got here. Oh, yes. Do I need scissors to
No,
open
I already
this?
opened it.
All right. Oh. Oh. Look at this. Very cool.
It's
it even says it's Ninja Turtle coasters. I like this.
Select your turtle. I moved it around to put it on top.
Well, that's smart. Do you know what this artwork is from? The original artwork of this
I don't
is from?
actually. Do you know?
I absolutely do.
Well,
this
good.
is
I'm
from,
glad you know.
This is from the NES version of the Ninja Turtles arcade game. Let's have a look at these. Oh, I even like on the little holster says select your turtle.
Exactly.
That's cute.
And you can put it on your table. Aren't they cute? They're really nice quality too.
They are. Leonardo. The painting is very painstakingly done.
Yeah.
Donatello.
Mm-hmm. Mikey.
That's for you.
I can put my drink on that one.
Yeah. Wow. Oh, even the little edges are like pixely.
Yeah.
I like that. Well, thank you.
I like the way they smell. It smells nice. Like burnt
it's like
wood.
Burnt wood.
It smells good.
These are wonderful. Thank you.
Look at these. Look at these wonderful Christmas
There we
gifts.
go.
Yeah. Yeah.
So exciting. We'll leave these here.
Okay. Now there's wrapping paper everywhere.
That was our Never a Minute segment for the week, by the way.
By the way. Yeah.
Yes. Well, that was wonderful. Filled me with the warmth of the holiday spirit.
Aww.
It is time for our great segment with RogersBase.
It is.
So without further ado, here you go.
All right, so we are here we infiltrated your house.
You did.
Casa de Roger.
That's
We're
right.
at Casa de Roger.
Literally Roger's base.
Yes.
Look at that.
We are-
It is.
Yeah,
Wow.
Wow.
So I've been teasing our very special December guest for
Cute.
months now. And of course, it is the one and only RogersBase's, who have been very good friends with us for a very long time. So it's finally nice to get you on the podcast.
Thank you. Likewise.
Thank you
Happy
for-
to be here. I've been listening every single week. I love it.
Seeing your
You guys are
comments.
great.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
Always make sure you got to like,
Right?
comment, subscribe
That's
for your
right.
fellow influencers, of course.
Yes.
I know the drill with the algorithm, of course.
Oh, that's so sweet. And
Yeah.
you're so kind to let us come and hang out with you in your
course.
house, and we're gonna get some food afterwards.
Heck yeah,
and
K
just-
barbecue. Let's go.
Yeah.
It's gonna be fun.
And we just did a fun video for your channel.
We did,
Yeah.
where we did the ultimate Nintendo Switch tier list. We went through
man.
every first-party published game.
And maybe a few that aren't.
Exactly. I'm glad you got that. And that'll be up on my channel at the same time that this goes up too. So if you
Yeah.
go over there, you can see our full deliberation. Things got heated for a couple games.
Yeah.
Krysta made me like her less, which is
Yeah.
unbelievable. I thought that
almost
could
got
never
kicked
happen.
out
but
of
yeah.
RogersBase's.
Yeah,
I almost
twice
got kicked out
actually.
twice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So watch that video to find out more.
Yes.
Exactly. Yeah. But you're here today because
Yes.
we want you to be part of our special Nintendo Storytime this week. Because you were
Absolutely.
part of a very special, I don't know what to call it, like experience?
Moment.
Moment.
Literally
in
a
time,
moment, yes.
for Nintendo Switch.
I was.
Yeah.
And the story that we want to tell today was about when we surprised you. We really pulled a fast one on you.
Misty, I think about the release. Good.
We surprised you
Yes.
with Nintendo Switch before the system came out.
Yep.
And we looked at the date on this video.
January 2017.
Yeah.
Sure was.
So
So
months and months
2
and
months
months.
early.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
before Switch came out, and we definitely had to lie a little bit. So sorry
you
about
lied
that.
a lot. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we lied a lot.
But that got cut from the final video because I have all the like outtakes from that during
Yeah.
the video that I uploaded
Right.
because Nintendo was like, we can't have them saying lying in the video.
You lied to me.
Because I think
Yeah,
I said
you
that
said
during
that,
the
yeah.
recording. I'm like, you two lied to me. I can't believe I was expecting to play Yoshi.
Right.
So
Yeah. So what was the setup that you received to
So-
come see something?
the initial setup was from Golan.
Right.
And it said that I was going to be on a Nintendo Minute segment regarding Yoshi's, not Crafted World. No.
Woolly World.
Woolly World plus Poochie.
Yes.
Right, there you go.
For the
Gucci.
3DS.
Exactly, for the
Yeah.
3DS. And I was like, okay, this seems kind of weird that they're doing this like a month before the Switch.
Yeah.
And like
it was
obviously
right after the Switch announcement too.
well, it was right after something very like in particular. So I don't know if you guys remember this.
Oh.
You guys had the preview events in New York.
Yeah.
That's right.
And there was one other one, wasn't there?
We did the big reveal.
Well, then
event
it
in
started to go around the country.
Okay, so it was
Yeah.
around, but the big one was in New York,
Yes.
basically.
Right.
And people were being flown out to it, like
Yeah.
other brand ambassadors and all this stuff. And I was thinking, like, man, this stinks. Like, I wish I could have gone to this event. Like, this is painful. And I was sitting there, like, I can't believe I got left out of this. And I was talking to everybody. I'm like, I'm so sad. Like, I'm so hyped for the Switch. I wanted to play it. And then I get that email about Yoshi's Crafted World. I'm sorry, Yoshi's Woolly World.
Whatever.
Shows
Well,
how
that's
forgettable
Poochie.
that game was, but whatever, it's fine. But like, about the Yoshi game, and I go, okay, I'm so excited. We're gonna go to YouTube Space. We're gonna record this thing, and
Yeah.
then maybe they're gonna give me information about the Switch.
Oh, so
Or,
you
like,
so you've had a feeling.
I
You
thought
had
for
an
sure that there
inkling.
would be something
Okay.
regarding the Switch that you would tell me afterwards,
Yeah.
like, oh, we're gonna have this other preview event that's gonna be here in LA.
Okay.
Maybe you can go to this.
Yeah.
So
I think we did do a preview event in LA.
That's what I'm thinking. I think you did.
Like a month afterwards.
right, and I wasn't
yeah.
invited to it.
Right.
That was it afterwards. I think
It was
before.
afterwards.
Yeah.
We were invited to it afterwards. But I
Yeah.
think they wanted to do the New York one first.
Got it,
And
okay.
they were very tight on the list for that.
Right,
I think
right,
it was
right.
only media, like
Yeah.
real media.
Right.
Or whatever.
And so I was devastated, and I didn't know if I was going to get a chance to play Switch before launch. Then we get there, and then Kate walks up and she's like, "Hey, all right, you could just record all of this. Like, take your phone out, record whatever you want." I'm like, "Okay, this seems kind of odd for the opening of a Nintendo Minute."
Yeah, usually
It's
we
like,
don't do
yeah.
that.
Yeah, so you're very proper, and you sit down, you go over the guidelines, whatever. And I go, "Okay, sure." So I start vlogging. I walk in, you get that shot of Demetrius, right, like pointing at me as I'm walking
Yeah,
to you two. And then as soon as I saw the warp box,
Yes.
I was like, oh, something's going on.
something's
Right.
happening.
Because the day before it was on Jimmy Fallon, wasn't it? Where he revealed the box.
That's right.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'm losing my mind at that point. You could see it in the video where I'm
Yeah.
like, is this what I think
Yeah.
it is?
Yeah, literally you said, is this what I think it is? And
Yeah.
you started to like back away.
Right.
You started to like walk out of the room because I think at that point you knew there was no Yoshi and no.
So
No
there was
Yoshi.
never a point in your mind where you're like, I'm not going to do this. I just
No.
don't. No.
Oh,
Yoshi,
no.
are you joking? No.
No, absolutely. No, of course. I mean, if it's a Nintendo event, like you're going to go to the Nintendo event. Especially like at that time, there weren't as many.
You're big time.
preview events.
Yeah.
Exactly, you're big time. I'm like, heck yeah, I'm gonna go to this thing Nintendo invited me to.
Yeah.
So, it was an amazing experience.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
getting to
that's
see that
good.
box for the first time. I'm sure you remember, like, I left you hanging.
Yeah.
I'm sure we'll splice in the footage
We
as
will,
well.
yeah.
Where I'm picking up the box, and then I see it's the switch, and I drop
Yeah.
it. Because remember, it didn't have the handles on it.
Yeah.
It was
That thing
just
is
the...
really
Yeah, it was
heavy.
heavy, and it was
Right.
very heavy.
And it was
kept
heavy.
telling
Right.
people, he was like, "Oh, it's really heavy. Be careful."
And
You can
I
take it,
pick
but-
up the one side of the box, and I drop it, and you go, oh, and there's no footage, and it goes sideways and almost smashes
Crushes
the
the
switch.
switch.
Oh
Yeah.
my
the
gosh.
only one,
Yeah.
and then it's gone. It's
Right.
Now,
yeah.
before you, JD
Yes.
Witherspoon was there.
He did, and he did not spoil anything.
We were watching the video
Yes.
coming
No.
over here, and
Yes.
he's like, "Oh, JD was very tight-lipped about
He
what
was.
happened."
He was.
What
Yes.
did he tell you?
He literally didn't say anything. I said, "How was the Yoshi
winked?
event?" No, nothing at all.
He just walked past you?
Yeah, he didn't
In
walk past me
silence?
because JD's a buddy of mine. So I was like, "Hey, how did the Nintendo event go?" He was like, "It was super fun." I'm like, "What'd you think of Yoshi?" He was like, "It's cool. It's a Yoshi
Oh,
game."
he was like an actor.
Yes.
Oh, he was good about it. Well,
Good.
yeah, I mean,
Man.
he's a comedian.
All right,
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, so he was
Oh,
on
his
it.
poker face was great.
Yeah, it
then.
was
So
really
you,
good.
You did not get any sort of like giveaway from
Nothing.
He
JD.
didn't high-five you.
No.
Or, yeah.
He wasn't like, "I think you're gonna
Yeah.
like the game,"
Yeah.
nothing like that. But he was just like, "Oh, it's fine." We had our regular like back and forth, talked about the next time we were gonna collab or something, and that was that. And he went on his
Okay.
merry way.
Wow.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then the other thing for me too, with that event, that was at YouTube Space.
Right.
Yes.
And I had never done a Nintendo event there,
Oh.
but
Yeah.
have gone to YouTube Space multiple times beforehand for
Yeah.
YouTube events.
Sure.
That space was
Yeah.
great, and we used it
It's
for
amazing.
Nintendo Minute videos before when we were in LA. But this is the first time we did it with other creators,
Yeah.
and so
Yeah.
it was pretty cool to like have everybody come through.
Yeah,
that event.
unfortunately, doesn't exist anymore.
Doesn't exist anymore.
It is
Can't
now-
believe that.
It's Google Offices. They have like some YouTube things there,
What
but
a
there's
shame.
nothing.
I
I know.
know.
Yeah,
they
what a
should-
shame.
It's too bad.
Right,
Yeah.
it is
Right.
too bad.
Yeah.
So what were your first impressions of these? We had Zelda and 1-2 Switch. Interesting combination.
That's right.
Yeah.
So 1-2
Now,
Switch.
if we can talk about our tier list for example,
Please, by all means.
one of those games is in the very top, and one of the games in the very bottom.
Very
Gee,
bottom.
So
Gee, I wonder where
I
Breath of the
wonder
Wild is.
where
Yeah.
they are. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, just saying. Watch the video to find out.
Yeah, that's right. There you go. No, for me, I mean, I expected the second I saw the Switch, I'm like, oh, this is Breath of the Wild.
Yeah.
But I remember vividly, you guys had like Inkling plushies and
Yes.
like Mario plushies, and I was thinking, oh, Mario Odyssey's gonna be here, or like Splatoon's gonna be
Yeah.
here.
We actually thought about that. We were like, are the plushies like some sort of
giveaway?
like, red herring?
I was
or,
looking
like,
at
a
everything in the
giveaway?
background. I was
I
like
was gonna
looking
say,
for hints.
yeah.
Head was on a swivel here.
We also had pillows with the Switch icon that we turned
Right.
around.
That's right. That's
So
right.
they
That's
were
right.
only red pillows
Right.
when you guys walked in. Then we like turned it around
Flipped them.
when you saw the Switch.
That's
yeah.
right. Yeah. So no, I was excited to play Breath of the Wild. I was looking forward to sharing those vistas with my
Yeah.
Vista brother over here.
Thank you.
Aw.
Yeah.
Fellow Vista
That's
enjoyer.
right.
You
I
know.
think I asked you immediately to remove Link's shirt, and you did not comply.
I did not
Oh.
comply. Did not do that.
It's a real rift between you two.
know.
It's just getting bigger.
Only today.
What's
Vista
happening?
was always my favorite until today. And now
Wow.
suddenly we're just like,
Oh.
no,
Everybody
I
comes
love
around.
you both equally,
It
just
just
like
takes
everyone
time.
says about their kids. I love you both equally.
It's kind of weird.
You're my children. No. The one thing I do remember vividly, and I don't know if you remember this, and I was like, I can't believe this got approved by Nintendo. I'm so happy this got in the video. It was election day. You remember this when we did this? It was election day when we filmed. And I was nervous.
Was?
And we're sitting there
Yeah.
recording. And I remember there's the bit where I was pushing the boulder off the cliff for the first time at the Bokoblin camp. And I said in this video, I'm like, I'm taking out my frustrations on the Bokoblins.
Oh.
And I push it, and then I included a little sound file of Trump being like, he's a mess, he's a total mess. And it got in the video.
Wow.
And I was like, they approved it? I can't believe it. I got so happy. Because it was such like a funny moment, because obviously all three of us are laughing and reacting as the Bokoblins are
Yeah.
running around and stuff. It was like the world's on fire. But I thought that moment in particular was like super funny that actually got included in the final
Wow.
cut.
I feel like no one caught that.
Wow.
It's too late now.
Someone, it wasn't in the official Nintendo
Right.
video. It was in
Right.
like the one that was on my channel.
That one on
but
your channel, yeah.
something that people did pick up on the official Nintendo one was I was humming the Metal Gear Solid theme when I was like
Sneaking
ducking
around. Oh, that's
around
right.
in the
I remember
grass.
that. Yeah.
And someone in the comment section was like, "Is he humming the Metal Gear theme? Metal Gear for Switch? Like, is that what's
Yeah.
happening here?"
Oh, all these
Implying I
clues.
would know anything. Yeah.
All these clues.
Yeah.
And then you guys
You
had
and
an
I
infamous-
had an epic showdown.
Yeah,
infamous
with 1-2
moments.
Switch.
Oh, yes,
cow
we did.
milking.
We sure did.
You met
We sure
your
did.
match.
I did, unfortunately.
Yeah,
There
you,
was,
went, you went in so confident. Like, you
Oh,
were
yeah.
like, I got this.
because I watched JC do it, and JC was
Well,
such a pro.
he's things.
I mean, he was going in and doing the,
Ew.
all the different hand.
Yeah.
Well, go back and
He's shucking and driving on this cow. Come on, no.
He also did that thing with the sandwich that was gross.
Ew, yeah.
I don't remember
the
that.
The mouth noises.
The-
mouth.
That was
Hold
terrible.
on, I'll go on my microphone.
No.
But no, I just, the 1-2 switch actually for that time was really fun though. Because you have to remember, like, that was the first implementation of HD Rumble.
And the last.
And I guess that's true. That is true.
It was a techno
Yeah.
for a Switch.
But the one that really blew my mind was the marble game.
Yes.
We were sitting down at the table and
Yeah.
like rolling
That
the
was really
marbles
neat.
and trying to
Oh,
guess how many
yeah,
were.
that's
That
right.
was
I
cool.
Definitely forgot about the marble game and also that samurai game where you have to like
That was
catch
super
the-
fun.
sword,
Catching the
yeah.
sword.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There were some like little things
We
in
need
there.
to redo this tier list. We're talking ourselves. It doesn't-
It's still
that one. Yeah, but you guys had this epic, and we made you wear like the ridiculous
We had the
bandana, the
cowboy.
cowboy
Yeah.
hat.
Well, the bandana, I think I kept on from the cow one, but we also did like the game where we're shooting each other.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Right,
Yeah.
and it was like 1, 2, 3. You have to walk to the other side and then like turn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I remember I cheated it after one time, and it got caught on camera when I put the bandana up and I shot you
I
behind the back,
know.
and you were like, "What is this?"
That's where the riff started.
Right,
You
exactly.
did me dirty and
Exactly.
the draw,
Oh,
whatever.
no.
But you
Exactly.
said to me when I did that one, you were like, "You're too short. You just shot me in the chest."
Right, that's right. Yeah.
'Cause my arm
You
was
shot
like,
me right in the heart. Yeah.
It was literally like right at your chest. You're like, "What the heck? You're too short."
Right. There's so many moments that were in that initial bit of 1-2 switch stuff that I think are just so funny that I will
Yeah.
go back and like legitimately rewatch because
Right.
it was
Yeah.
just hysterical.
Yeah.
You're like the back and forth that Kit and I had, dude. Some of the things you were saying where you were like, you thought you were gonna beat the record, but I beat my own record. And all of these other just like little
It
smart
was
things
kind
in there.
of innuendo-y.
The game
was,
I
it
was
was.
born to play.
Somehow.
Okay?
Yeah.
I love it.
It's a fact.
It's the
fact.
game
Big
you were born
facts.
to play.
Yes.
Where is
But-
the esports? Where is the
I
competitive?
don't know. Where's my sponsorship from
Where's the competitive
Right.
milk?
cow milk?
Got milk? Yeah. Sign me up.
But
have money.
that whole event was just like so cool.
Yeah.
And then obviously the surprise at the ending.
Yeah.
Too. Where, after I'd played Breath of the Wild, played 1-2 Switch, and I'm sitting there thinking, okay, I'm gonna get my review copy the day of release. Like that's gonna be the thing.
Yeah.
And at the end of all of it, where you guys are like, oh, and by the way, there's gonna be a Switch delivered to your doorstep.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, again, it's gonna be launch week. So to my surprise, obviously I freak out, you go watch the video, I'm super happy and super grateful. It shows up on my doorsteps like 3 weeks before Breath of the Wild comes out. So I am one of the few people sitting there getting to enjoy this masterpiece of a game,
Yeah.
not being able to tell anybody, and just sitting in my old little like studio apartment with my Switch, marveling
Yeah.
at what is ultimately going to end up being one of the
Right.
best games on
And
Switch.
Boy,
James
times have
like,
changed, huh?
game-changing. Right, exactly.
I know. And
Now,
that's where the
obviously-
gravy train ended.
It just ended. Well, because if I remember correctly, I don't know if you guys talked about it in a previous episode, but like the whole thing with the brand investor program, maybe you talked about it with Wood?
Maybe.
I'm trying to remember.
Yeah.
But it was like how we used to get the games kind of early.
Yeah.
And then that stopped kind of after Odyssey. I think Odyssey was the last really big one.
Yeah.
That's true.
And,
that
um,
2017 year was like the last swan song for like early
Right.
access, for
Right.
all that stuff.
Yeah.
Right.
It was such like a 180 turn
Yeah.
because all those leaks were happening.
Exactly. Which
Yeah.
again wasn't
Which
even
wasn't
from,
you.
it was in
Yeah,
Europe.
You didn't do it.
No, it was
Yeah.
in Europe
Right.
for a Mario and Luigi game.
I
And it's
know.
like, what is this nonsense? We're getting punished for Europe?
The finger
But-
pointing on the poor, Nintendo creators was just so ridiculous.
See, but on one side of things, I also kind of understand it from like the corporate perspective, right? Because I don't
Sure.
think at the time, I don't think they saw the value in why are
Yeah.
we giving like Breath of the
Yeah.
Wild 3 weeks early to this random YouTube guy, So that part I get. But yeah, it did, completely change things. Eventually, the brand ambassador program shifted. It became smaller. Things were no longer like pre-release.
Right.
But for my kind of content, that really didn't matter because
Right,
I
right.
stream everything.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's like I don't want to stream something early and then spoil people
And I
because
think
then no
that's
one's gonna
why
watch
you
me.
you stayed in that you
Yeah.
were like one
It's
of the people
fine.
that made it
Yeah.
through those crazy cuts that we had
Yeah.
to do because we knew that your content was going to not really like suffer
Yeah.
from the new guidelines.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And,
Also,
you know.
I notoriously, to the point where it's a meme on my channel, say #free game on everything.
good with
Yeah.
the
So I was like,
FTC.
there's no FTC
Yeah.
problems
Exactly.
whatsoever for me.
You're,
So stay
you're
safe.
Never
Yeah.
had
Yeah.
a violation on
Yeah.
that. Never had to give you a call.
I'm good.
Yeah.
No,
Can you
I'm
change
good.
your description?
Yeah, right. Because I think there was one. I remember one
Oh.
actually, but it was so minor.
It was very minor.
It was an upload on my Game and Vlog channel, which no longer even exists. It's just like my secondary VOD channel now. And it was a video I uploaded of how to get a bear mount in Breath of the Wild.
Yeah.
But it was like day and date. And the only thing I forgot was I forgot to put product provided by Nintendo in that one little thing at the very bottom, but it was minor. Yeah, I know. We could change.
Now I have a tangent I want to ask you about. You have been keeping this great spreadsheet of all the games you have been playing this year.
I have been.
Is this the first year you've done this? Because this is a genius idea.
First off, shout out to my friend Maddie, who is the first one who did this from the One Piece podcast. She's fantastic. Shout out to Maddie.
Cool.
And I saw the idea to keep the spreadsheet, and obviously there's other platforms you could use to like track your backlog, but like, let's be real, I'm not going to download another app and do all this extra stuff to do it. And I thought the spreadsheet idea is good.
So what is the categories that you have?
Sure. So I have the number, like the order in which I beat the games, the title of the game. I've then got the date that I beat the game.
Oh.
I have an option for did I 100% it or not? Yes or no. And then at the end of all of that, there's like a 5-star ranking for the games that are like my top 10 of the year that I played that year. That came out that year.
Yeah. See, I need to do that next year, I think, because I always forget the games I played in the beginning.
Yeah, now we're planning for our game of the year stuff. It's what did I play? I can't remember.
Yeah.
Or like you want to write down your initial like reaction to the game as you're playing it or right after you beat it. Because now I'm like, I think I like this, but I don't really remember like what I actually felt in the moment.
Right.
Like I've forgotten that.
Right.
So that's very smart.
Yeah.
And you were probably in the top like 2 or 3 worldwide triangle strategy aficionados.
I will stand triangle strategy until the end of time. That is like that is my game of the year this year. I know we were talking about it earlier, and you guys aren't going to spoil yours. That's fine.
Yeah.
But like for me personally, that game is like an even better Fire Emblem than Fire Emblem was.
See, the way that you described it like that is very convincing to me. Because I think I thought that triangle strategy was more straightforward, like sort of like a Bravely Default type.
No, which I also am not the biggest fan of. I've tried them.
I like Bravely Default, but I feel like sometimes it drags.
Yes. Yeah.
So you don't think that triangle strategy is like that?
Well, I will admit to this. This is the only thing. Is that when you start the game, be prepared for the first 2 hours to be dialogue.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of exposition.
Okay.
And when you're playing through it the first time, even Reagan was saying this, she played for the first time like last month finally. She had the time to do it. And it's the kind of thing where you're playing through the beginning and you're like, all right, I don't care about these characters. Why are you fleshing out their story? But you need that to get to that first major like choice that you make.
So you need the background.
Yes. Because if you don't understand like Norzelia and like what Hyzant is in relation to S-Frost, in relation to Glenbrook. Right, I know.
It's like our Patreon list that we'll name at the end.
Right. So once you understand sort of like what all 3 of those kingdoms are, or those provinces within Norzelia or whatever, and you understand the characters that come from there, you're going to like it a lot more. Okay. But the gameplay to me is like incredible because it uses the Bravely feature, like the TP thing, for skills, but it implements it in a game like Fire Emblem or like a tactics game. If you like Final Fantasy Tactics,
I like tactics games a lot.
Yeah,
so
you'll love it.
I think I would love it.
Yeah,
awesome. I need some time to check it out, but
highly recommend it.
You putting that as like your personal game of the year has really like made me just continue to think I need to play this game.
I will stand it till the end of time.
You can beat it in the 6 days until we record the episode,
Let's
right?
go.
Marathon.
I don't know.
You can do it.
You could do one route, probably. You could do one.
There we go.
Yeah.
You can upend the whole list.
Still playing Persona 5. But
okay, to be fair, fantastic game to be playing instead of Triangle Strategy. Persona 5 is a great game. Yeah.
All right.
But Triangle Strategy, I don't know, to me is just one of those things that came out kind of also at a weird time because Elden Ring came out right around then.
That was why.
Right.
Because it was 2 huge time sucks that I just couldn't, I needed to like choose one. You know? So.
And the lucky thing for me was like I also loved Elden Ring. Like if Triangle Strategy did not come out this year, Elden Ring would be my game of the year, like far and away. Definitely my game of the year.
Were you deep into FromSoft games before?
No.
Which
is why
none of us were.
Not a fan.
Yeah.
I was so not a fan of other like Souls games.
And I tried. I mean, like they had Bloodborne on PS Plus, and I heard like the whole team at 8.4 is always like Bloodborne's the best game of all time. I'm like, all right, John, whatever, fine. Like, let's see. But it actually is. Yeah. Like it really is so good. Now that I've gone back and played it after Elden Ring, I understand the whole. Yes. I mean, I fiended. Like I did Bloodborne. I did a good part of Dark Souls. Like Demon Souls, excuse me, the PS5 one. I went back and I replayed Dark Souls because that was the only one that I had ever played up to this point.
Dark Souls I tried to play and I failed so miserably because it was like you're trapped in those tiny little hallways.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I can't, like literally cannot physically do this.
Yeah. On Bloodborne, I need a PS5 update to get past those load screens when you die. They're so brutal.
Hey, maybe at the Game Awards they announce a remaster of Bloodborne. Maybe. Please? This will be, this will go up after the Game Awards, we'll see. But they're going to be like, joke's on you, they announced Kojima's game.
Boy, were you wrong.
Right.
Yeah, I know, but that game Elden Ring just like changed my mind.
It really is incredible.
Games,
Fire Giant?
A Fire Giant, I had no problem
Did
with
he
that.
cheat?
You
In
hit
fact,
me.
I talked to you about that.
You talked.
No problem?
there's
No problem
tactics.
whatsoever. You know what gave me a huge problem, more than like any other boss in that
Tell me.
game, was not Melania. Melania was totally fine for me, actually. I was hearing all these people complaining about her. Totally fine. Wasn't the Fire Giant either.
Yeah.
Ooh.
It was the
Radigan?
King. The King
Oh.
that turns into the lion
Oh,
who like
the
kills.
pro wrestling moves? Yeah.
Bruh.
Really?
That fight wrecked me.
Oh.
I did it in one try.
Really?
Yeah.
See, that just goes to show the difference. Is like
Yeah.
Fire Giant also wasn't an issue
Yeah.
for
What
me.
was your build?
Wow.
My build was a mixed samurai. So I did a samurai with mixed magic, but I really
that's
like
cool.
didn't want to over rely on the magic because I saw people doing like
Yeah.
the laser beam thing
Yeah.
and just one hit shot at
Yeah, yeah,
everything,
yeah.
and I didn't want that.
Definitely
Okay.
have laser beams.
Right, so there you go.
But towards the end, very
Yeah.
much towards the end, I went and collected all that stuff to get that meteor
Yeah.
rod. Oh my gosh.
And I had the katana that inflicted bleed, like the first one. I
Yeah,
did.
like the blood
And I just
katana.
upgraded
Yeah.
that one
Okay.
constantly,
Okay.
and then
Yeah.
I put on like the extra augments or whatever for like bleed, and
I
then
was too squishy. That was my problem.
Too
I
squishy.
had to run away a lot and do
Yeah.
a lot of the like hit and then leave, which
Yeah.
is why the Fire Giant was such a problem for
Sure.
me. We tried.
for both of you,
Really bad.
Really?
Yeah. We both almost gave up on that game.
because of
Yeah,
the fire.
because of
Giant.
that, yeah.
But then I did it.
It's like
And I
dozens and
I think I shed it to you.
Dozens and dozens and
Like a
dozens
fire-
of
My
tries.
hands were claws. And I was like, yes.
That was, to be fair, that was also me after the ending when you fight the Elden Beast.
Oh, yeah.
But only because it was like shedding a tear because I would get through the first half. No
first half
problem.
was no problem.
I was like, this is fun. I know the pattern. I get it.
Yeah, I get
and
it.
then one shot, this giant magical galactic slug like does one thing across the room, and then you have to run all the way.
Far away.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
then you're so disoriented.
Oh my
And then you get to that
gosh.
attack where like it falls from the sky and you're like, where am I?
Yeah,
that was a
the
nightmare.
camera was kind of the number
The
one
camera
enemy
was
in that
such
game. Yeah.
Right,
like
right.
you're targeting his foot and then you're targeting like everything around
Yeah.
you.
I tried my best
man.
not to use Ditto throughout the rest of that playthrough, where like you summon him. It's
Yeah.
not Ditto, but like that's the
yeah,
yeah.
you know.
Like,
I tried my best not to use him, but then when I
No,
got to the
it's
Elden
useful.
Beast fight, I'm like,
Yeah.
I gotta
I
do
can't
it.
Yeah.
do it.
Yeah.
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 We're on a real tangent now.
We are.
but it's
No,
okay.
that's this is good. This is what happens when you
That's
bring
what happens.
RogersBase's on.
Yeah.
Exactly. Before we wrap up, I got to ask you guys a question because you asked me about Elden Ring. I want to ask about another game you guys are playing. I think you just beat. All three
Yes.
of us have just beaten
Okay.
this. God of War Ragnarok.
Yes.
Ooh.
Okay. Thoughts on minor spoiler warning, maybe?
Yes, minor spoiler warning.
Spoiler warning. Okay. Thoughts on the way it wrapped up, and thoughts on that little area that we were talking about that all three of us were like, this is so boring.
Yeah, the area that we all agree was just really slow was
Yes.
the Ingraboda area,
Yes.
where it
The
was
walk
just
and
like,
talk.
Yeah, we're on
With the
the
yak.
The yak
Yes.
is cute.
Yeah.
The environment was very beautiful
Yeah.
and cool. Like the Ironwood environment was cool. But yeah, it's just like, why are we gathering fruit for 2 hours?
Too much.
Yeah.
Too much.
Yeah.
Definitely a little dragged out. I did like the fight at the end with the Granny Giant. Kind of like that.
Oh, yeah. Gryla.
Yes.
Yeah.
I thought that was interesting. It
was decent.
Like, it was kind of interesting to find out, oh, that's her grandmother and there's this connection there, whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, I agree that part dragged.
Yeah.
The ending for me, I gotta say that I'm a teensy bit disappointed.
Really?
You were not disappointed.
I was not at all. I almost cried.
No.
I was like surprised by how much I almost cried. Yeah.
Well, we were both
Okay.
so we had both seen in advance. The developer had said this is the end of the Kratos in Norse
Right.
mythology story.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And if I didn't know that going in, that's not the conclusion I would have come to watching the ending.
That's
Right.
right.
So
Right, right.
'Cause it
I'm
just
like,
felt like there was
it,
so
it feels
much
like
more.
they are setting up another story where
Right.
where Kratos, who has completely changed who he is,
Yeah.
doing something else.
So
Yeah.
don't you think though that's the setup for Atreus then taking over, which is kind of like what bumps? I know that's
don't
how I am
want
too.
that.
I don't want that either.
No.
And I think that is kind of what that's supposed to set up because even
Maybe.
when you're in that section with the not the prophets, what are they?
The Norns?
The Norns,
Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, the
right.
Norns? No.
When they're underwater and they're mentioning all the different parts and the different lives that the characters have lived,
Yeah.
Right.
they call Mimir Puck.
Oh,
They call
yeah.
him Robin
Right.
Goodfellow. And like the English theater major in me is like, oh my God, Midsummer Night's Dream,
Shakespeare,
Celtic
yeah.
gods, whatever. So I'm thinking with Atreus leaving at the end of the game, like searching for giants, that he's gonna go into like Celtic mythology in the next one. And then the Raiden and
Yeah.
GS2 surprise.
He did also say the Kelpie was from like his
Right.
part of the
part of
world.
the
Right,
world,
exactly.
yeah.
It's like,
exactly.
all right, so Mimir's traveled from
Right.
somewhere else, which explains the accent.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then that also kind of explains too that like if they wanted to bring Kratos in, like I was gonna say, they could do a Raiden MGS kind of thing where they you think it's an Atreus
They
game.
already did.
And then, but halfway
They
through,
did, yeah.
Kratos.
50% of the game was Atreus.
But I
basically,
think
this one.
people kind of went in, at least I did. I went in expecting we were going to play as Atreus. Maybe not as much as we ended up
I did not
playing
know
as
that.
him. Really?
Yeah, I didn't think that at all. I really was surprised by that.
Really?
I did not expect that. I was like, wait, I'm playing like hours as Atreus? How is this possible?
Oh, I saw the
God
second I
of
saw him
War?
on the front cover, I was like, knowing what the story was of it,
Yeah.
and knowing from the end of the first game where it looks like on the mural he's like doing the spirit thing that he does
Right.
to Odin.
Right,
I thought
right.
like, oh, I said Odin instead of Odin. This is the one piece of my brain
Odin.
talking. I'm like,
Odin.
I said Odin because there's
Like
like,
the Japanese-
Delicious
like the
Odin.
Japanese
Yeah.
food, exactly.
Hot pot?
Well, there's a character in. Oh, whatever. We're not going to do a One Piece tangent. It's fine. If you want to do a One Piece episode later, I'll clue you guys in. But yeah, I kind of expected that to be the conclusion of it. I
Yeah.
thought Kratos was going to die. Atreus takes over. So,
So I thought he was gonna die as well.
I did too, yeah.
And like have some sort of like spirit become some like
Right.
some magical whatever.
his spirit goes in the
Force
marble
ghost,
and goes
yeah.
somewhere else.
yeah,
Right, there you
Force
go.
Ghost, yeah.
There you
But
go.
then like I don't know, I just
Can't kill Kratos.
He is kind of
He's
the Mario of
too
Sony.
he's too iconic
too
to
iconic,
kill him. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm glad he didn't die.
Same.
But I was definitely like not let down or anything by any means, but just like it felt inconclusive to me for the Norse mythology
Yeah.
leg.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I could see them doing like an Atreus-focused DLC that wraps it up
Oh, there you
even
go.
more.
There
I'd
you
be
go.
okay with that.
Yeah.
I don't want a full game of Atreus.
Yeah.
though.
Yeah. I also
Atreus
I'm
is like light Link. Like we don't need that.
lightly.
Do you know what I mean?
Right.
Like it's
No,
like
totally.
a little
Yeah.
similar,
Totally.
like a little boy with a bow. Like come on.
That would also be kind of cool too. Like I think it would be neat to have Atreus DLC, maybe with some of that Celtic stuff that they teased
Yeah,
a little bit.
yeah.
Right.
Because for me personally, like I want Egypt. I've wanted Egypt
Yes.
since the
I
first God of War.
Have
like,
wanted Egypt for so long. Ever since Assassin's Creed
Yes,
Origins
right,
to Egypt, I'm like,
right.
we should do more Egypt for all games. Like, where is
like,
the
they
Egypt?
could do Ra, they could do Anubis, they,
Oh my
all the different
gosh.
stories. Like I think the idea of Kratos,
Isis.
yes, exactly. And
so cool.
Like I don't think that's the direction they're going to go in now. So I'm like tempering my expectation going in.
Yeah.
So then when they do announce like God of Atreus or whatever,
Yeah.
that like or God of Loki, God of Mischief. There
Yeah.
you go.
Yeah.
Oh,
God of Mischief.
Oh, that's what it's gonna be. No.
Right. When they announce God of Mischief and it takes place in Celtic mythology, then I'll be like, all right, that's fine. I expected this. So, but I hope you're right.
Yeah,
And I do hope
yeah.
it's DLC.
Yeah.
But-
they can't get rid of it of Kratos.
No.
They
No.
just
No.
can't.
No.
The other reason I asked though is because I had no familiarity with the God of War franchise prior to 2018.
Right.
Yeah.
They were too bloody for me, and I
Right.
was like, it's not my thing.
Yeah.
I like Nintendo games. Like, it's literally not just because I work with Nintendo. I genuinely like
Right,
love
They
right.
did
Nintendo
get
games.
ridiculous with the violence.
Right,
Like,
right.
towards
But
the
they're
end
like
of
ripping
that-
up people's chins and stuff.
that
It's like, I
stuff
don't want
was
this.
crazy.
It was a little
Right.
crazy towards the end. I did like the Greek mythology part of it.
Sure, I love
that
Greek
part
mythology
was really
too.
cool.
Yeah.
But I really liked what they redid for Kratos' character.
Yeah.
Starting with the 2018 game. 'Cause
Yeah.
It's just like, yeah, now he has like depth and like a personality versus like I'm just gonna rip your throat out. You know.
Right.
So I thought that was really good, and it made me like just like re-fall in love with the franchise
Sure.
again versus it being like, oh, I know what to expect. This is just like a bloody, like gory game.
Yeah.
you know?
Right.
So
Right. And then prior to playing the 2018 one, did you have any experience?
Oh yeah, yeah.
All of
I'd
them.
put, after God of War 3 was the one. That's where they
Okay.
really started to get over
Yeah.
the
Sure,
top.
of
course,
they did
of
like
course.
Ascension, which had some multiplayer. I didn't play that.
Yeah,
I didn't play
Chains of
the-
Olympus.
The PSP games were good.
Right, the
Those
PSP
were
one?
good.
Right,
yeah.
right.
So I think Ascension's the only one I hadn't played leading
they
up
have
to
like
this.
those
Okay.
mobile games too, right?
I didn't play that.
I didn't play
Yeah.
those.
Yeah, I didn't play the mobile
Yeah.
one. No.
That's on like your Motorola Razor or
I
something.
know.
Yeah,
Yeah, right.
sorry, I didn't
Weird,
play
yeah.
it.
Right. But I asked because that moment at the ending where Kratos, opens up the how they changed the prophecy.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
The shrine opens up.
Yeah.
And you have that line from Odin, like 2 or 3 scenes before Ragnarok, where he says to Kratos, like, you have no idea what it's like to
Right.
be worshipped. You
Right.
could never know what it's
Yeah.
like to have people love you. And you get that moment where he opens the last bit and
Mm-hmm.
you see the statue of him and the people are.
Mm-hmm.
I like legitimately was choking up watching this because
Yeah.
again, kind of blasphemous. I could care less about Atreus. Like he goes on a little
I
giant
don't care
journey.
either.
I don't care.
Yeah.
But like that moment was the conclusion that I wanted, and like
Yeah.
the kind of thing where if you're not going to kill him, redeem him.
Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah, that's actually a really good point. Like I felt like the whole time too, he was like fighting that within himself.
Yeah.
Like he's like, I did all these terrible things.
Yeah.
Like I don't. Now my son is basically like on this, fixed path to also do these terrible things.
Yeah.
Like what am I even doing? You
Yeah.
know. So it does feel like a bit of like a redemption of sorts.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, I wish that it was definitely like more like this is the end of Norse mythology, but part about his character I thought was really well.
Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, right on. There you go. I was just very
Awesome.
curious when you said God
Yeah.
of War. I was like,
Wow, this turned into a
Yeah.
great conversation about
went
all the
places.
things. We went
Yeah.
places.
it's almost like I do YouTube for a living.
It's almost like
You just transition to the next topic.
I love it. Yeah. All right. Well, thank
Yeah.
you so much
Yeah,
for
Thanks
hanging
for
out
having
with
me.
us.
Absolutely,
Thank you.
anytime.
Thanks for having
yeah.
us in literally your
In
house.
Rogers Base.
Oh wait, literally, anytime you're in LA,
Yeah.
hit me up. Come over. We can go on the fire pit. It'll be great.
We're planning when
By the fire pit, not on the fire pit.
in the
That's it.
fire pit.
Yeah, that would be bad.
We are planning now next year when Super Nintendo World opens.
Yes, come
we're going
by.
to do a fun group trip.
Oh, we are
Yes.
for sure
Yeah.
going to do a group trip.
That's
Multiple
gonna be-
group trips,
Multiple
I'm
group
sure.
trips. Yes,
Yeah.
that's going to be amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Any predictions for things that you think they haven't announced about Super Nintendo World you'd like to see? Like future rides?
We
or-
might know too much, actually.
Really? About Nintendo World?
We might know.
Do we know
We
too
might know
much?
some things.
I actually don't know what
I'm gonna
they've
be. I'm gonna be careful.
Yeah,
and
be
not
careful.
answer the
Don't
question.
answer. No. I thought it would be
Ninjas
done
are-
by this point, but I guess it's something
Yeah.
that's been in development for a long
The
time.
ninjas,
so.
though.
Yeah,
We're already
that's
on
right.
thin ice.
Yeah.
But we're on our way to Korean barbecue.
Right on.
It's
I
gonna
can't
be
wait.
awesome.
It's gonna be
Yeah.
delicious. Yeah.
That was so much fun.
Yes.
I'm glad that Roger did not want to do that after I broke his heart. I was like, "You still want to do the segment with us, right?" And he didn't walk out. I know that we talked about the Nintendo Switch surprise, but we also talked a lot about games we were playing because
Yeah.
I think everyone has a lot of game of the year,
Yeah.
end of the year gaming thoughts
Right.
on their minds. So it was nice to catch up with him on that as well.
Exactly.
yeah.
Yeah. It's a good segue into what we're playing though, because it kind
Yeah.
of felt like the tail end of that was a little bit of what we'd been playing.
Exactly.
So we can roll right on into that.
Right.
You played on the flight. You brought your play date.
I did.
On the trip to Los Angeles, and you
Very
played
easy to
a
carry
new
that little
game,
thing around. Yeah.
Kranken's Time Travel Adventure.
And this is from the guy that made Katamari.
Exactly.
We have the
Right.
post right here.
We
We're
do.
big fans.
Yes.
That game is awesome. I kept playing it.
How far did you get in this?
I'm level 12?
Oh wow.
A 12th date, sorry.
All right, explain what.
Okay.
Explain the concept of
So
this.
the concept is you're a little robot caterpillar man, and you are...
He's a caterpillar.
Well, you have 3 sections to your
Oh,
body.
I didn't realize that. Okay.
I don't know, robot.
I thought he was just like a robot.
Sure, whatever.
Kind of looks like the Tin Man from.
But his
Wizard of
body
Oz.
separates.
Okay.
Anyway, so you're a robot man, and you are always late for your date with your girlfriend or whoever.
Right.
And every single time that is that meet her at 3 p.m. or whatever, you have to run across this terrain to get to her. And every single time there's all these obstacles in your way. You could step on stuff that could make you start over, or you could things could fly at you. And so you have to use that crank to basically go
Advance
backwards
time
and forwards in time.
or reverse time.
Yeah, and then freeze your character in these different positions
Right.
so that you're not getting touched
Yeah.
by the enemies.
Yeah, it's not just moving forward or backwards.
No.
It is truly reversing time because you go backwards and you do the action you had done. So if you're
Right.
smelling flowers, that's an early puzzle. It's there's
Yeah.
a bee that you need to avoid.
So you bend over to smell the puzzle, and then instead of continuing to
Right.
move
You just
forward,
keep it like
you
that.
pause like that, wait for the bee to pass,
Right.
and then keep going.
Right.
Yeah, there's even places where you have to vault over things, and as you do that motion, you have to freeze yourself in that motion.
Yeah.
Going backwards
Right.
to avoid something that's going to come at you.
Right,
It's
right.
very, very clever. I was like, this is very cool, very fun. And you're always late. You never get there on time, and then the girl gets really mad and
Yeah.
does really mean things to you. She punches you in the face. She kicks you. She gets upset because you're late. Why are you 15 minutes late to this date? You know.
Think he'd learn? Kind of
Because
a deadbeat.
you're-
Cranking. Come on, cranking.
You're trying to smell a flower and the bee got you or something. Something ran past you.
I'm glad to hear that you're on level. What did you say? 12.
Yeah.
I have left off. I got stuck on a puzzle, to be honest. I got stuck on some wild boars or something.
They come chasing after you. It's kind of you're like, what do I do?
But I was curious, how long is this? So that's cool to hear that it's got a bit
It's good.
of depth to it.
There's a part where you drink coffee that I think you'll really like.
Oh,
So you should play till you get there.
nice.
There's something for coffee. That's why he's late for this date.
Yeah, this is the game that I was wanting to play the most.
Yeah.
When the play date was first announced, and I've waited, a long time to get it.
Yeah.
And it definitely has that zany
It's
Katamari
very charming. Yeah.
charming feel, but also,
Right.
Is a really smart idea for the crank.
Very
too.
smart. And it's all done with the crank.
Right.
It feels like it totally works with that control mechanism. I continue to be so just enthralled by this play date. Like it's so fun. Like it's so teeny, like on a plane. You're just like, like, and then I feel like I'm kind of cool. Like people are probably like, what is she doing? She looks like she's having a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It's this little thing, you know. It's so cool. I've been really enjoying it.
It's wonderful.
Yes.
You are also continuing on with Pentiment.
Oh my gosh, Pentiment.
Yes. Which
Every
when
day.
when we were at the Xbox event, we were expressing your great love of Pentiment to wonderful Jeff Rubenstein of the Xbox team.
Yeah, I'm a huge fan, you know, and I have heard from other people. I have heard from people in our wonderful Patreon community that are also big Pentiment fans. So your statement last week about it being a target audience of 5, I think is wrong.
I think we found the 5 people.
Oh no.
We rounded them up.
It's just us, guys. Pentiment continues to be a thrilling adventure.
Yeah.
The story just gets wilder and wilder.
Oh. You were telling me about some.
I spoiled it for you because you're not playing.
Well, I didn't.
I need to talk to somebody.
But don't say it here.
I won't say it here.
I was surprised by that though.
I was very surprised,
Yeah.
and it was like, oh, okay, this story continues on even beyond the scope of what I had first imagined with this cast of characters, and now there's lots of new things happening. There's still this element of solving a mystery and solving murders and sort of gathering clues. So that part of the game is still very much the core of sort of the gameplay in terms of the conversations you're having with people.
Yeah.
But yeah, time has continued to move on. And you can see the differences too with the art style. Like in the beginning of the game, they give you that like very cool clock. Oh. The clock is different now because like 18 years have gone by. So now it's different. It's like the year.
What do you mean?
It's like before you have you had like nons, vespers, like compline. Like that was the way that you measured time.
Yeah.
Now it's more of like a traditional clock.
Oh wow.
With like a traditional calendar.
Huh.
So it's like October, blah, blah. And then
Okay.
it has like Roman numerals, which is very difficult for me.
Does the art style change as time progresses?
The art style has not changed too much.
Okay.
But the fonts, the typeface have changed quite a bit.
Oh.
Because now you're advancing through time now. Now there's like printing press and blah, blah.
Well, that's very interesting.
So cool.
Wow.
So cool. And I've been enjoying it very much. I've been playing. I was thinking about this game while I was in LA because I hadn't been able to play for a couple days, and I was excited to get back to it. So, yeah.
Nice.
Gonna keep going.
And I finally talked you into trying Vampire
game.
Survivor.
It's ridiculous. I literally did not blink for like an hour.
Yeah.
My eyes.
That happens to me too. Yeah.
My eyeballs were really dry. I was
wigging
like,
out.
Ow! I sent you a Bodhi potential, and you said no.
No.
Really?
You need more than just a static image in your game.
You need emotion.
We need more.
I was so excited for you.
I mean,
and me.
I mean, it's nice, but it's not a contender. Yeah.
You were not as excited.
So, what did you think of this?
I think this game is incredibly fun.
Oh, I'm glad you think so.
And it really does this like addictive. Let me try one more time.
Yeah.
Element of it so well.
Now, there was a very insightful comment in our Discord from somebody who knew more than us. They said the guy who made this game used to work on slot machines.
So I really got that sense because I love Las Vegas. I love slot machines, you guys. I'm a fan. So there's a thing in that game in where you like get a treasure chest.
Yeah.
And it's exactly like a slot machine. The way they ratchet up the sound effects, and then they like ratchet up your like coins that you're getting, your money, or whatever. Like that is, if that's not a slot machine, then that's exactly that like brain trigger thing that happens when you hear and see a slot machine. Like that, like you get that like rush of like, oh, reward,
Yeah.
The human brain, man. We're so dumb.
So easy to trick.
So easy to trick. Yeah, but I was like, I had the same sense as you. Like, I'll try it,
See what people are talking about.
Super low key. It just jumps you right in.
Right.
No setup.
Yeah.
And you just go for it. And then like the first time you go through it, you're like, I don't really get this. What's happening? And then by the third or fourth time, you're like, oh,
Yeah.
I'm in.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I am so in on this.
Right.
Which character do you like playing as the most?
I like the guy who adds another projectile. So I had like one of these like godly runs over the weekend where you just felt like so invincible.
So what happens?
There is a final boss. I actually died on that final boss because I wasn't expecting it. So it was basically like I was just like fighting waves and waves, and I was like, I can't lose right now. And then like all of a sudden everything leaves the screen and this boss shows up, and the boss just like goes right for you. And I kind of wasn't expecting it. I didn't know it was going to happen, and I got wiped out pretty fast. Next time.
What happens after you beat the boss?
Well, I don't know because I didn't do it.
Oh my god!
But I mean, there's more. I unlocked a new stage. I unlocked new characters.
Oh.
So there's a lot more stuff to unlock.
Yeah, I like the guy with the runes.
The things that bounce off of? Okay.
I love that.
Right.
Because it's almost like playing a game of pool. It's like bouncing off the enemies like crazy, and then you just go back around and collect all the little blue things.
I have started watching some YouTube videos of like best builds and like because there's a lot of depth of like so you can actually max out the level of an item, and then if you get it again in a chest, it like reaches an evolved form.
Yeah, I've seen that.
So like with the whip, you can power it up until it's powerful, but then if you get it into its true form, it does life leech, which is really helpful late game.
Yeah.
And I found a couple other items that got like that. But there's also like this, I don't totally understand this, like the weapon synergy, where like if you have two things, they can combine to do some other.
Yeah.
I need to keep understanding what
I
happens with
started
that.
unlocking more stuff towards the end of my play session yesterday. Like I unlocked the magic wand that does like the fire damage.
Yeah.
But I looked at that little chart and it was like, I unlocked like, I don't know, like 2% of whatever was on that chart because there's so many different power-ups.
That's where it's easy to have a misconception about this game of like, oh well, it's automated, it just plays itself. It's like there's really a lot of depth and strategy.
Yeah, you have to really like think about like how are you going to build your character as you go along. I think my best run I was able to last for like 25 minutes.
Yeah, this was like 45 something.
Okay.
And again, I made it to the boss. So, and I mean, it gets crazy. It's just waves and waves. But again, I had such a good build. Like there was nothing I could do to die in that moment. I just stood there and it was like.
That's so cool.
Which is a great.
It feels so good.
It's an amazing feeling. And then the boss came and stomped me.
I will say that I would love for this game to be just for everything to be like 10% faster.
Well, you can power that up.
No, like the enemies and me.
Oh.
Like
why?
all of it to be just a little bit faster.
Why is that?
I don't know. It just feels a little sluggish, like especially in the beginning.
Interesting. Well, it is. Yeah, the build up of the first 5 minutes maybe can feel a bit tedious.
Yeah.
Because it's like, all right, let's get going. Let's get this going here.
Yeah.
I mean, you do level up quickly. At least.
You do. In the first 5 minutes, quickly. You do level up quickly, but just a little bit faster.
All
just
right.
overall would just make you feel more like like that excitement of like. That kind of game where you're trying to last.
Sure.
Yeah, I don't know. But I really liked it. I was surprised. Yeah. I didn't know what to expect.
They just announced some DLC for this too, which I'm very excited for.
So maybe more.
I don't know. I think so. You can buy it. I'd be glad to buy it, but we're playing it on Game Pass.
Yeah.
I'm assuming it'll be on Game Pass, but I didn't see that explicitly called out in the announcement. So it's like, but if I buy it, like. Does a purchased DLC work on a Game Pass version of a game? I don't know. I just need to get this DLC however I can.
Yeah, I mean, I'm happy to.
The game's also on. I mean, the game's like $2. The game. The game is so cheap. The game is also on mobile.
Oh, should I try it on
which
mobile?
I wonder.
How does that work?
I don't know.
You just touch the.
I want the more precise movement of a controller.
Sometimes my hand like slips off, and I'm like two-handed on the controller. I think my hands are small.
You're sweating?
No, I'm not sweating. It just feels like my thumb is like slipping off the thing.
What?
I don't know. It feels weird.
What is going on?
I can't blink. My hand is slipping off.
Gosh.
I'm like in an intense
You're
moment.
A mess.
I'm a mess. This is why I play Pentiment, because I'm just like hitting the A. Sometimes I'm like laying down,
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very nice. Okay, anyways, yeah. Very fun.
This launched while we were away, the new Mario Kart 8 Deluxe tracks, which
I tried them.
We saw people playing while we were gone, and what did you think?
I liked it.
I
don't. Oh, sorry.
I'm a bit more hit or miss on this pack than I have with some of the others. I think you and I have the same impression.
I don't really like London or
Berlin. I don't either.
They look very generic to me.
Especially London, which has so many icons.
I know. I didn't see any
I
icons.
didn't really see any of those. Berlin, I've never been to Berlin. It's getting a little bit far of like, I don't know
these cities as much.
These recognizable things in Berlin.
It feels like the track setup is very similar to Paris.
Right.
For both.
Right.
it has like that little roundabout kind of thing, and it has a, so it wasn't super imaginative. It was a little bit phoned in.
Well, it's from a phone game.
Ah.
I'm still liking the tour tracks overall, but those two were a little weak and maybe not the best to put back to back in the same pack because they did feel a bit samey.
Yeah, I think the best tour track is the Tokyo track so far.
I do like the Paris one.
Tokyo and Paris are both pretty good, but Tokyo is probably the better one.
Yeah.
I like Maple Tree, but that's one of my favorite tracks. I love the music for that one.
Yeah.
I liked going back to that one.
Yeah.
I wish it was more. It would have been nice if it was released in like the middle of fall.
Oh,
for vibes.
Sure. Yeah.
But it's okay. I still really liked it. I like the Merry Mountain one.
I love that.
It's so cute.
Yeah.
And the Rainbow Road track is beautiful.
That's good.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Really beautiful.
I'm blanking on the name of the one. It's a 3DS track where you you jump off a huge thing and you're in a forest and then you're on a mountaintop. What's that one called? Darn it, I can't remember. Well, people will know what it is. I like that one a lot too. I really like that one on 3DS. It was cool to see it in higher
But the Toad one?
fidelity.
Toad something?
Huh?
No, never mind.
No.
The Ghost track is kind of a...
Oh, I thought that was neat. I like that one.
It's a little forgettable for me.
Oh.
Sorry.
On Merry Mountain, is that Santa on a sleigh? Like, you never see who's... I couldn't see who was on the sleigh. It was always just a little bit out of like eyesight.
It's Santa, but you can't use Santa.
Can you see? But can you see Santa?
No, because it's not canon. Santa doesn't exist in the Mario Kingdom, does he? I don't know. I'm
Watch
asking
your tongue.
Does he exist in the Mario Kingdom?
I don't want to have this conversation with you.
Does he?
I'm gonna find out.
How?
By hauling through this course, okay?
By how?
I'm gonna go fast, so I'm gonna find Santa. How dare you? But yeah, again, we're going to be playing this with our Patreon folks this weekend.
Yes, it's going to be fun. Very festive.
And finally, at RogersBase's behest.
I need to score some points with RogersBase after my,
you need the brownie points. You really do. You started Triangle Strategy.
I did. I started
You're playing the demo.
I'm playing the demo.
Is the demo just the beginning of the game?
It's prologue, yeah.
Okay.
And you can transfer it over, so it's not a big deal.
Thoughts?
It's pretty good so far, actually. I do like what got me into this game that I wasn't aware of previously is the idea of it being more so like a Fire Emblem game with choices.
Oh.
I love these choices kinds of games where you like make the choice and that's what affects your character, yada yada. So that is more an integral part of the gameplay than I had expected.
Yeah.
And yeah, that shows up right away. You're getting to know these characters, The beginning of the story, it definitely feels very like, I am an RPG. It's like,
it's a little slow.
Got these 3 kingdoms and some, story setup.
Right.
It's a little bit slow. It definitely has a lot of dialogue in the beginning to set up the characters. Yeah. But you're getting a taste of the combat, which is kind of a cross between Fire Emblem and maybe like Bravely-ish.
Oh, right.
Sort of.
Yeah.
Like you have special attacks for your characters. You can buff your characters, but you are on like sort of a grid.
Yeah.
And then you have some ways for placement that helps you. Like if you're on higher ground, you do more damage. If you hit somebody from behind, you always crit. So there's some strategy there. So you get into that right away, and then the element of choice comes right away. Like every single sort of big moment in the story, there's like 3 sort of paths that you can choose for your character. But yeah, I think it's beautiful. I mean, the art style is like so pretty.
Yeah.
But I think it's really good so far.
Okay.
I'm gonna stick with it.
How long is this demo?
I'm still in it. I've been playing for a couple hours now. So
because Roger was saying the first couple hours is just that story.
Yeah, maybe that's what that is.
Well, they got to let you play some game in it if it's a demo.
Well, I already played the first battle. I did one like battle thing.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
All right.
How far
Are you gonna keep going with this? Do you think?
I think so. I'm really interested.
Just add this to the pile of 100-hour RPGs that you're multitasking.
It's okay. I wanted to play this game before our big game of the year discussion. I don't think I should have. I can't not play this game before that discussion. I have to play it. So
I can.
Even if I play it for a little while.
I've come to peace with the fact that I will not be able to play Triangle Strategy before Monday.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's fine. I mean, I'm not sure how far I'll get, but I think it's good for me to get a taste of this game that everyone's like, this is my game of the year.
Right. Right.
I need to. Yeah, I feel like I need to give it a fair shake for myself.
Okay.
We'll keep going with that. I got
Yeah.
a lot of comments from people that are like, you're going to be in for a treat. Some people, it's a little disparaging. Some people are like, this is really slow. Like, we'll see.
That's what scared me off. Is just it
Pacing?
From what I've seen, there's a bit of genericness to it, which I don't love.
Yeah.
And then that thing of like settle in for 2 hours of talking up front. Like,
Yeah.
can I skip that? Can you fast forward?
You can.
Oh, okay.
You can. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. That's it for the games
That's what we've been playing.
Yeah.
On to the news. I want to go back to the Game Awards.
Yeah.
What happened there? I got just a long list of things that happened, things that were announced. Stop me if you want to talk about any of these.
Okay.
So Elden Ring won Game of the Year.
Yes. That was great.
There was quite a bit of drama building up to this
There
because
really was.
God of War had some real momentum
Yeah. They
leading
were
up.
sweeping a lot of the categories.
Up until Game
Best
Direction.
But Game Direction and Game of the Year is always the same game, pretty much. So
We still don't know what Game Direction means, to be honest.
we don't either. What is that? Can someone tell me?
Yeah. But yeah, it was a good moment. It felt like everybody was in recognition
Yeah,
that
we were
was
talking about this.
a very deserving game.
Exactly. It didn't feel like the audience was sort of divided in any way.
Yeah.
Everyone kind of agreed that this was this deserved to win.
I felt like we might have been seeded by some or some Santa Monica people. Like there was a big contingent to our right that was like whenever God of War won, they were popping off.
Yeah, it might have been a Sony team.
Right.
The person that was sitting next to me, I think worked at Activision Blizzard.
Oh, really?
He was telling me that he had worked on the big like Halsey Blizzard.
Oh,
moment.
really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Neat.
So we were among the industry people, obviously.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I'm sure, they had their own thoughts and feelings about Elden Ring winning, but I think generally everybody, it was a standing O.
Right.
Like people were, it seemed like people were on board with this.
Yes.
I was certainly on board with this. I think they deserved to win. So.
Yes. Bill Clinton kid, you were quite enamored with him for some reason.
I was just so confused
don't
about
know
what was
why.
happening.
Yes.
And then I ended up reading like hours of
Memes.
on Bill Clinton kid and laughing.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, it was entertaining. People on the internet really entertained me.
On the serious side of this, people were flagging like, well, this is a huge security issue for the show, and it is.
Truly.
It does point out, for as like slick and highly produced as the Game Awards are, there are parts of it that are kind of done on the fly.
Totally. I mean, a live show. What
Something
can you do?
like this, the show definitely has security protocols.
Yeah.
Which are good. This though is like such a specific thing that I think it would have been hard
for something like
to
this?
prepare for something like this. Obviously, they'll be extremely prepared in the future.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was just a bizarre moment.
Very bizarre moment. The bizarro part of it was, why did they turn that kid's mic back on? Why did they turn the mic back on? That's just weird, right? Like if you
obviously he was not part of this group.
Is not a Japanese
game developer.
Game developer, businessman. So like, why would you? That was weird.
Right.
Anyways, I was like, yes, okay. It was definitely a head scratching moment, but it is like sort of what happens during a live show, like a live event. Like you can't control every aspect of it.
Yes. It is inherently chaotic.
Yeah.
A show like that,
Which is why you watch it.
But it's gotten so much better over the years. Like the first one was like, oh boy, this is really barely being held together.
Yeah. Sometimes it's fun to watch the drama though. You don't know Christopher Judge is gonna talk for 30 minutes. You don't know that Joseph Ferris guy is just gonna freak out and drop the F-bomb.
Well, now
you don't know.
Jeff Keighley's like Joseph's coming up. He's gonna say something nutty.
Yeah, it's funny.
You're not gonna want to miss this.
It's funny.
Yeah.
It's like this is like people go to award shows to watch these like quote unquote unscripted moments. It's funny.
I saw this morning. IGN put out their Game of the Year. Elden Ring was that. It'll be interesting to see the balance. I mean, it seems like this and God of War are the two big
ones,
ones that most people will have. I'll be interested to see the balance. But of course, they're both holding on with bated breath to see who gets the big Kit and Krysta award.
Of course, the one that matters.
Game Award, whatever.
This is
the one that matters.
Who has the most Bodhi though? Which game? Probably God of War.
You have an interesting Bodhi contender from God of War that might have some people scratching their heads, but it's fine.
Take a look.
It's fine.
Is what I'm saying.
Announcements. Let's run through these.
Yes.
Hades 2 was
Oh my
announced.
gosh.
Have to
So
put that at
hyped.
the top. You
So
called this
hyped.
from the. What made you think this was coming? His description leading up to the trailer?
I knew it. I was like, Supergiant.
I can't remember anything.
I
he said.
immediately said, this is from Supergiant. What
Yeah.
is this? I was like, either this is a new game or maybe it's just Hades 2.
But it was before the trailer rolled.
I
You're like,
know.
it's Hades 2. Or you're like, it's a Supergiant game.
It's a super, and then of course the logo
Yeah.
flashed.
I was like, wow. Way
I
to go.
just like really put it together.
Yeah.
Like, but I'm so excited for this. I'm
That's
a
amazing.
huge fan of all things Supergiant.
Yes.
Obviously, we did so much.
Yeah, we got to know them pretty well.
I really want to work with them on like to support Hades 2. Obviously,
Yeah.
I'm so.
It's
excited
interesting
about
that that's a studio that I think normally would resist making sequels.
Yeah.
But in this case, like that game was such a phenomenon.
hit. Yeah.
And
It'd be remiss that they don't continue
clearly,
this universe.
clearly they found, enough new creative material to
Yeah.
feel like we can make a new
Well,
game.
I love this because before for Hades, you were defeating Hades. This one, it sounds like you're defeating Kronos, which is like a Titan.
Right.
And I love Greek mythology. And it sounds like, from the trailer, it looks like this main character is Persephone, which is the queen of the underworld, no?
Did you see? Was Zagreus in this trailer at all?
No, I don't think I
he
saw
was.
Zagreus.
So it feels pretty like a pretty fresh take,
Yeah.
fresh story wise.
Yeah.
The other thing that stood out to me is they're doing the same early access approach as they did with the
Right.
first game, and I'm not saying this to be like. I just hope it works out for them because I think the expectations for this game are so different now.
Exactly.
That the first game was such a hit. Initially, it's like, oh yeah, I'll test out this new game before it's done. Now you have people like, what's early access? Well, I just want to play Hades 2.
Yeah.
But it's not totally baked.
Right.
So I hope the
isn't
right people end up gravitating towards that.
Yeah, and I hope that it doesn't become a hindrance to them.
Right.
In making this game, because again, you're not starting from scratch now, right? You have this like platform and this this place to start, and it might just be a different environment than
and
early access.
I think the
to a
expectation
brand new thing.
is completely different.
Yeah.
For me, I'm fine to skip the early access.
Oh yeah, I actually don't really like early access for things.
Right.
I just want to play
Right.
it when
So
it's fun and finished
I'll
and
play-
done.
yeah,
and,
I'll wait
and
however
bug
long.
free, and
Yeah.
I want to play it when it's done.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
It's like I don't want to see a movie when it's not finished. I want to see it when it's done.
I hope they do another of those no-clip documentaries.
Oh my gosh, I do too.
If you have not seen the Hades no-clip documentary,
that's one of the best ones. Yeah.
Please watch it. That's a great thing to do over the holiday break.
Yeah, we were so sad because when we were at Nintendo and supporting Hades launch, and we both were like super fans of the game, and obviously we loved working with Greg Casalvin and Gen Z from the studio, and we were so sad because it was the pandemic and we never got to go to their studio, which is literally in our backyard.
We never got to meet them in person.
So maybe this will be our chance to do that.
I know.
That will be fun.
Death Stranding 2, that looked absolutely nonsensical.
It's sweet to see the Kojima Jeff moment. Gotta get that big hug.
It was actually
two.
a bit more of an understated Kojima reveal. It's like, it's not, the 18-minute trailer
I know.
that's just rambling.
It's true.
Death Stranding, like, there's parts of it, I played it for a little bit. There's parts of it I liked, parts of it I didn't like. Unfortunately, the story was the part I didn't really like. I like the part where you're, like, traversing these really beautiful areas. And I thought that gameplay was really unique and interesting, but I just couldn't with the story. Sorry.
I'm not a fan of that weird baby.
Yeah, I don't like that either. That's strange.
It really freaks me out.
Yeah.
Like, I have like a very viscerally negative reaction to that. I don't think I could stand to play it.
So there's a huge fan base for this game. Unfortunately, it's not us. Bayonetta Origins. This was a surprise.
Mm-hmm.
Different kind of game.
Yeah.
For Bayonetta. Different look. I think it's neat.
Yeah, the look of it is really cool.
Mm-hmm.
Has almost like a cute kind of
right.
look to it.
And people who've been playing Bayonetta 3 were saying there's sort of a teaser for this in the game that people didn't really realize what it was or what.
Until this trailer came out, they're like, oh, that's what that was.
So that's a really
very clever.
creative lead-in for that. Horizon Forbidden West DLC set in
Los
looks
Angeles.
like the big Hollywood sign getting destroyed.
I loved Horizon.
Spoiler.
I love Horizon Forbidden West for the landmarks of California because I was like really excited to see
That's neat.
ruined Golden Gate Bridge.
Right.
So I'm kind of into this. Like
Are you gonna play this?
Depending on when it comes out.
Yeah, they didn't say when it comes out.
I'm sure it'll come out during like the Breath of the Wild 2 sequel, and then I won't be able to play it.
Yeah, no. Star Wars Jedi Survivor.
Now this might be a game that you're interested in, but you seem to be not interested.
Well, the first one, I really wanted to like that game. The dungeons were a bit too Zelda-y for me, and by Zelda-y, I mean like
Twilight Princess Zelda?
some obtuse puzzles that I had trouble with. All the stuff that was like the overworld, I really liked.
Okay.
The character is quite generic, sadly. This trailer I thought was a really good trailer. It had a lot of like fan servicey, like deep Star Wars
Yeah, it had like
things.
a lot of Star Wars-y fan things that I thought people would recognize.
I did like that.
A little lost on me, but the Star Wars fans seemed excited.
Respawn, I think, is one of the best game developers out there right now. So I will play this.
Okay.
Yeah, this is coming out in March. That's really soon. I think this is probably going to be on Game Pass because all the EA stuff goes on Game Pass. So yeah, I'll play this.
It's easy for you to try out at least for a little bit.
I just hope they don't do the same thing with those dungeons. We saw a new movie, a clip from the Mario movie.
Yeah, with a lot of toads because the voice actor was there.
Right. So this was our one prediction that came true.
Green check mark.
Other predictions. Elden Ring DLC didn't happen. A bigger Nintendo announcement like Zelda or Metroid.
That means they're not worried.
Didn't happen. That's true.
That means they're not worried.
They're feeling real. Good. They're feeling real good.
Why? I'm not sure.
And what was the other one? We had one more. Mortal Kombat.
We already knew that was out.
They saw me putting that out there. Like, we need to debunk this. This is getting out of hand.
Oh, you going viral with your rumors and speculation?
Yeah. At least we got one.
You got one.
Don't get shut out. That's what matters.
Yeah, that's right.
I thought this clip looked great.
Oh, it did. Absolutely.
I would like for them to now take a break from showing this movie.
Really showed a lot within the last 2 months.
It made a lot of sense though for them to show something at the show.
Yeah, of course.
But yeah, wait until like Super Bowl. Like I could see them having a new trailer for the Super Bowl.
February.
That's like February.
Yeah. Movie comes out in April.
Right.
So,
and that's when you can really ramp it up.
Yeah.
Starting
there.
have
like
go crazy.
Maybe more little clips and things like that.
Right.
Yeah, but it looks good. It looks really fun. It continues to just feel like the world that they're building is huge. And there's lots of like gaming, like specific little
I love getting
the
look at that little shop area from the first
poster.
Teaser.
Yes.
And that
the antique shop.
That looks fantastic.
I love the usage of all of the game elements in Mario games, like the platforms and the pipes.
Right.
And like just it's funny to think about it, like this is actually what Mario must feel like when he goes through one of those pipes. Like this is like painful and awful a little bit.
Right.
So it's fun to see that,
Armored Core 6. This was a really interesting one.
I wished it was Elden Ring DLC.
So this was another one where you like shouted out. I started to do something really annoying halfway into the show where whenever they rolled a trailer, I would do the Switch snap.
You were. I was like, can you stop?
Just to see who I could get to be like, oh my gosh, she's on Switch. No. This was not on Switch. So you thought this was going to be the Elden Ring DLC trailer.
It looked like it, because it really was set up for it.
Jeff Keighley with like a quivering lip, like breathlessly introduced. I was like, what's going on here?
Yeah. I thought it was going to be like a big Elden Ring thing before they announced Game of the Year.
I'm really fascinated by what they do with this game, kind of from a marketing perspective, because you could position this as from the makers of Elden Ring, and I'm sure they will, because that's going to get a lot of people's attention.
Yeah.
But this is...
I've never played a single Armored Core game.
Did you even know what Armored Core was?
I did not know what this is.
Thank you for being honest.
I do not know
but we're on the sixth one.
Apparently.
It's been a long time.
Have you played any of these?
There's a couple mech games of this ilk that kind of blend together in my mind. I may have played one. I need to go back and check which one that was.
See, the thing is this. I was not a big fan of Souls games before Elden Ring.
Right.
And Elden Ring got me into that genre.
So this is what
this could be that for Armored Core.
This is what I was going to say, which was, on one hand, I think that would be kind of a slimy thing to do, but on the other hand, maybe they can pull it off.
So
I can't say...
You gotta give them some credit.
Yeah, so I can't say it's going to backfire, because who knows? Again, maybe they can make this the huge mainstream hit while still being like the super crunchy mech, game that the fans love,
Yeah.
love it for. So you seem hyped for this game. This is at the top of your hype
FromSoft
list.
can't do no wrong. Golden child in my book
All
right
right,
now. So
all right.
let's see.
That was a really cool
I love it
trailer
when-
that they had.
I love it when this happens. When
Yeah.
I get pulled into something that I never ever thought I could ever be pulled into. That's a great
Yeah,
thing.
and there were a handful of people in the crowd who were just like losing their mind.
They were
over this.
losing
like
their
it was
minds,
like
yeah.
in the row in front of us was Tamor from Giant Bomb.
Giant bomb, yeah.
And he was like wigging out. So
Yeah.
that was
Some
neat.
tears were shed.
Yes. We also got these release dates, and so all 3 of these things are coming out in the span of like 3 weeks, which makes me really worried because I want to play all of these. Street Fighter 6, June 2nd. Diablo 4, June 6th.
Yeah.
Final Fantasy 16, June 22nd.
Final Fantasy 16 is a huge game.
Oh no, is my reaction to all this.
Uh-oh.
Oh
June
no.
is gonna be busy.
What am I going to do? This stinks. Delay, please. I hope maybe Diablo will get delayed or something.
Not gonna get
I could deal
delayed.
with that. I could play Street Fighter for a couple weeks.
Street Fighter is something you can play at the same time as something else.
Exactly.
So that's
But
okay.
Diablo and Final Fantasy, I cannot.
No, that one you can't. You have to choose.
I think Diablo is going to get delayed. Yeah.
Oh, I was gonna say I want to choose Diablo.
Yeah, get it delayed.
Oh,
you want to play that?
I want to play it.
Well, then I'm going to need to play that with you.
You are going to.
Well, what are we going to do?
You don't have a choice in this matter.
We're in some trouble here. But all 3 of those games look great. I want to play all
Yeah.
these.
Very timely Patreon poll.
Yes, we put up this poll. What was your favorite new game announcement? Hades 2 ran away with it. 42% of the votes.
Yep.
Star Wars was very high. Earthblade came in 3rd place.
Now,
This was
Earthblade
interesting.
Is the, Celeste.
Yeah, I was wondering.
Depths.
Should I even put this on the poll?
2024 though is the date
Right.
timing for this is far
Right. That was the only
letdown.
little letdown from that
Yeah,
trailer. Otherwise, that
letdown.
game looked amazing. That
Yeah.
developer is amazing.
But Hades 2, fan favorite.
Yeah.
I mean, I would pick that one too.
Kai says, Judas, I am a massive Bioshock fan. I have the chains from the first game tattooed on my wrist,
That's
like the
very
main
cool.
character. That's cool. We'd love to see those. Put those in the Discord. And this basically looked like Bioshock 4. Sign me up. This got 2% of the vote. It's been a long time since Ken Levine has done literally anything.
I know.
I think it did look exactly like a Bioshock game.
Yeah.
So I'm interested to see it ranking near the end of this poll. They got some work to do.
People have not thought about Bioshock.
It's been a long time.
I
There
think.
was no the last generation had no Bioshock.
Exactly. That was like that fallen out of
Yeah.
favor or like fallen
Right.
out of trend or whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
VGMlife says Celeste was one of my favorite games in the past decade, as was a complete package of charming graphics, amazing music, and intense gameplay. So the announcement of the studio's next game was the most exciting TGA news for me, and this is Earthblade.
Now, I don't know if they've come out and confirmed it. Maybe they have after the fact. Is the same musician doing this
I love
as
her.
did Celeste? It sounded a bit
Sounded
like the
very
same
similar,
style.
Yeah.
I feel like they have to do it now.
Yeah. I mean, again,
That's such a perfect
talk
combo.
about like this is now a game that has expectations. It's
Right.
kind of similar to Hades 2, where it's like you can't start from ground zero. Or
Right.
it's going to be hard for you to start from
Yeah.
ground zero, whether that's a good or bad thing. Like there are certain expectations now, so we'll
Right.
see if they go through with those or
Right.
if they go a different way.
It's just
right?
such a great creative team that would be a shame to not have
to
back
lose
together.
that. Yeah, it's so true. Yeah.
And Travis Torline says, I'm so excited for Hades 2. I'm a huge fan of Greek mythology, and I can't wait to dive back into another experience that is so involved with the stories while also having such great gameplay.
Oh, so agreed. I love this.
You know what's great about Greek, all this mythology is like it's established, quote, IP that you don't have to pay for. It's just
I know.
out
It's
there.
just
Everybody
out there.
knows about
Yeah,
it.
like mythology, fairy tales,
Yes.
like all that stuff. I love all of that. And I'm so
Right.
glad to see it in video games, you know?
Yeah.
But it's true. Like you have a base to work. You have like
Yeah.
source material that's free.
Exactly.
That you get to work from.
Right.
So it's awesome.
Genius.
It's genius.
Yeah.
It really is genius.
Yeah. But overall, I mean, I thought this was a great Game Awards, probably in the upper tier of these shows.
Yeah.
It was a bit shorter.
I like that. It was a very like focused show, it seemed. A lot of announcements that were exciting. I like the variety too. Like I was so sick of over the summer where every like big
the
showcase was like
scary
space
space
horror
game.
or
Yeah.
like farm sim. Like that
Yeah.
was like the only two kinds of games that we got. I'm like, seriously? Clearly,
Yeah.
that's not the case.
Jeff-
There's lots of games.
Jeff also did the
Promise.
expectation management thing of like, we may not have that many announcements. He had a lot of announcements.
He did.
So I thought that was smart by
great,
him.
yeah.
People have been pointing out, obviously Nintendo didn't have a ton. Xbox had basically nothing.
They had nothing.
Which is interesting. It's been a weird year for Xbox.
It really
They haven't
has.
had a lot. It just feels like they've struggled to get momentum,
They really have.
which is
yeah.
odd considering how many studios they bought.
Yeah, and now they have this whole other like the FTC.
Yeah, the
stuff.
Activision
Yeah.
business. Good on Phil Spencer for being there and putting on a happy
brave
face.
face,
Well, I'm
yeah.
sure in the
That's
back he
tough.
was like snapping pencils left and right.
That's hard
that's
to
tough.
do, to be at a big like public event like that while you're
Yeah,
going through it.
yeah.
You know.
I don't take this. Like some people took this to mean like, oh well, they don't have anything. It's always a choice of do we want to be at the Game Awards or not.
That's what you were saying too about Nintendo.
So I never take it to mean like, well, they have nothing in the pipeline.
Yeah.
Obviously, they have a lot, but
the timing
they-
might not be right for
Yeah.
them. There's like various factors that sort of go into whether or not a big publisher like Nintendo or Xbox
Yeah.
do something there. And I do agree with you that I think right now Xbox is in kind of a weird place. They might be in a bit of a transitional place where
Yeah.
they're not ready to talk about stuff yet.
yeah, I think though, they could benefit from some big hype moments. So I wonder what they have in the works. Feels like of the three, they have the least momentum.
Yeah,
right
for
now.
sure. Yeah, they have sort of. You can't. Their horizon. What's on the horizon for them is definitely a bit murkier.
Yeah.
Like for Nintendo, they don't have. They didn't do a big showing here, but you can.
They have so many games though.
They
There's
have,
so
that's
much.
what I'm saying. They have so
It
much
doesn't matter.
in early
Right.
2023.
Yeah.
Enough for them to do a direct. Enough
Yeah.
for them to do a title direct, probably
Right.
for the Tears of the Kingdom.
Yeah, and PlayStation's riding high on God of War. They had this Horizon DLC. They had the Last of Us show
Last of
that was
Us,
out there,
yeah,
so they
yeah.
had a lot going
Their
on.
IPs everywhere at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Nintendo not only with games, but they have the movie, they have the theme park opening,
Right.
they have like all this entertainment stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I feel like, like Xbox probably has the furthest road to travel.
Yeah.
But not to say that they don't have stuff going on.
Exactly.
Right. Yeah.
All right, we're on to our questions from our Patreon community. Each and every question that we answer on this podcast is exclusively from our Patreon subscribers. We also
Yeah.
do a great bonus Q&A every week with answers to questions you won't find anywhere else. Here is an example. This is a question that we answered on last week's bonus Q&A from Link. I started working a corporate job a few months ago, and today I was explicitly told by my manager that I shouldn't discuss my salary with my peers. I thought this was odd because I know laws exist that protect those kinds of discussions. Was there a similar attitude at Nintendo?
Was there? If you want to know the
inner
answer,
workings of getting paid at Nintendo. We'll tell you all about it,
get
but
the
not here.
bread.
Our first question for this podcast, though, is from Brustachio. It's been updated from Brustache to Brustachio.
What's
Whoa.
with there's a lot of pistachio references in these
What?
in these names.
Really?
There's a super pistachio, isn't there?
Anyhow, hey Kit and Krysta, I'm sure a lot of gamers are content with the final roster for Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, myself included, and Sakurai deserves being free from having to add more fighters to the game. But
Or Sakurai.
let's imagine if Nintendo and Sakurai were not done with Ultimate and announced a Fighters Pass Volume 3 with
gosh.
5 more fighters and 5 more stages on the way. If it were up to you, who would be in the 5 characters and their respective stages you would like to see added to Smash? In which order would you announce the 5? Wow. I have a list of 5. I did not come up with the stages. I'll leave that to Sakurai.
Yeah.
But I'll give you my 5.
Okay.
Locky 2, please.
Oh, Locky 2. Sure.
For the love of all that's good, please put Locky 2 in the game already.
All right.
Number 2. Toad, specifically Captain Toad.
Oh, Captain Toad.
Yes.
You can use a pickaxe.
The pickaxe, you throwing turnips.
You can throw something.
Locky 2, there's so much you can do too. He's got the little fishing. You
rod.
can throw the spinies out.
got
get
the camera.
Flying around. Get the camera. Yeah. Oh my god.
Locky
Why is
2
it Locky 2?
Locky 2 would be fun. You don't want Chef Toad with a frying pan?
I don't care about Chef Toad.
Really?
How about Bomberman?
Okay. That could be kind of similar to
Yeah.
Mega Man.
Sometimes
but
with no, excuse you.
A little bit.
The first some of the third-party characters I feel don't always fit the tone of the game as well.
Mm-hmm.
Bomberman though is like right down the middle of like this character would fit in perfectly,
Okay.
and there's a lot you can do with it. we have so many Fire Emblem characters.
So many.
Another great Intelligent Systems series is Advance Wars. It has nothing.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Nothing. Some people would say put Andy in. I think Andy's a little bit lame. So I'm going to say put my favorite Advance Wars character, Sammy.
Sammy is cute.
Put Sammy in the game. Get a little tank, get some airstrikes.
Oh yeah, the final smash for Sammy was pretty
there's
cool.
a lot of fun stuff you can do with that. And then finally, I have a big idea. This is genius.
Oh.
It's like Sakurai's going to come out of retirement to do this when he hears this.
Mm-hmm.
So the game already has the Pokemon trainer character.
Right.
Where you can control three Pokemon, the 3 starters from the Kanto region. We're going to update the Pokemon trainer character so that you can choose, when you choose Pokemon trainer, you choose the region.
Oh, okay.
And you get to control the 3 starters
from that generation.
That region and that generation. Isn't this
cool.
genius?
That's cool. Then you just add
Look at I have crazy eyes right now.
Your eyes, you have not blinked. This is your Vampire Survivor eyes.
I feel really strongly about this idea.
I think it's a good idea.
It's great.
Okay.
Because it's like, oh, well, how do they choose the Pokemon that get in? Some of them do, some of them don't. I admit it's a little bit arbitrary.
Yeah.
This way, you have every generation represented.
You can just keep adding to that.
Yeah, and you change the design of the trainer too. You get the different looks.
Different looks, yeah.
Yes.
It's kind of cool.
It's great.
Then you can get like all your other starters that you never see in those Pokemon
Exactly.
games. Okay.
All right.
What
do you have?
Tom Nook.
Oh.
Would be kind of fun.
All right.
Could throw bells at you.
Yeah.
It'd be good. It'd be good to have a Isabelle
counter.
Okay. Yeah, don't you think?
Okay.
That would be a fun one.
That's fun.
I think we should put the Ninja Turtles in.
Whoa! Wow.
You can do.
Oh my gosh.
One Ninja Turtle, but you can choose which one.
They're in that other game, unfortunately.
Put it in this one.
They're in that Nickelodeon game.
I don't care. Put it in.
All right. Good.
I think it'll be fun. Ninja Turtles making a comeback.
They never went away. Excuse you.
They're making a big comeback.
Goku? You got Goku?
No.
Oh. No.
No.
Oh.
No.
What do you got next?
I'm sorry. What do I have next?
You got nothing. You didn't prepare for this like I did. Don't worry. I brought the goods. Pokemon Trainer update.
All right. There
fine.
you go.
Great question, though. Jeb has the next question. Hi, Kit and Krysta. I wanted to know if you have any insight into how the production and distribution of physical games for Nintendo of America was affected during the height of the pandemic in 2020. I'm assuming many roles within the company were moved to fully remote, but there were some like these that still had to have some level of in-person involvement. There were still a number of major releases that year, such as Mario 3D All-Stars and Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity, that seemed to go on without much of a hitch despite the conditions. Were there any difficulties faced in those departments, as well as any other departments that struggled with the transition to remote? Relatedly, were either of you involved with the creation of the numerous Nintendo Direct Minis during this time? Did the frequency of those create additional stress despite them being mini? And was it difficult to coordinate with so many third-party developers to create these directs? Thanks for all the great content. We heard a little bit about this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, yeah, obviously that's not a job that you can transition to be remote.
Yeah. And the distribution, just so people know, is done in Washington, in North Bend.
North Bend. There's a
Yes.
big kind of
actually like
warehouse facility where all the stuff gets packaged and sent out.
Yeah, and they do that all, in-house, basically, which is pretty incredible.
Yeah. I think they kind of spread out the shifts for this.
Say, yeah.
So there were fewer people in the facility at any
Right. They had to do a lot of work to make sure that people were coming in small groups.
Right. Distance.
Right. Yeah. There was a lot of, I think, care taken into putting those guidelines in place.
Yeah.
But they did not shut down. They continued.
No, they seem to
throughout the pandemic
take this in stride and have a pretty good solution. And I remember even they like donated. Remember when N95 masks were like impossible to get? They were donating those. So
That's
like
right,
they just had them.
They had them.
So they seemed very prepared for all sorts of
different scenarios.
Which I'm not surprised at. That's like a world-class group there.
Really cool facility too, to see them packaging all that stuff. And then the Nintendo Direct Minis, that was very difficult. We worked on a team that had people that were working on those, and I think those minis, people think that doing the smaller Nintendo Directs would be easier.
Yeah.
But it's actually like exponentially
It's kind of not, yeah.
Yeah, it was just so many moving pieces. Producing something remotely is really, really hard. The good thing is we had a lot of good like remote record options.
Yeah.
Like whether it was Zoom or some other solution, the production team was definitely able to support that.
Yeah.
But with so many and all of these different announcements, trying to keep it all, secret and confidential, and then like working with all these different publishers and things like that, it was getting a little hairy.
This is just giving me a flashback to that Treehouse Live with the Bakugan surprise reveal, which I think
maybe the
literally
worst one
everybody but them tried to talk some sense into.
Yeah.
Don't do this.
Don't do this. It's not going to go well.
Oh, well.
Yeah, you can even see like there was a lot of discussion. I remember about that COVID disclaimer that they were putting on the start of it. I mean, now they're still
They still use it.
They still use it.
They should use that disclaimer and just take COVID out and be like, video game development is volatile, because that's good to have.
I know.
Yeah.
It's true. Yeah.
I think that's still valid.
It's so true. Yeah.
Yeah. Link asks, what is the worst piece of advice you've ever been given?
Oh, gosh.
Have you ever given someone advice you later regretted? If you say this is advice I gave you, I'm going to be upset.
I don't know. If someone has to tell me if I gave them advice that was bad, I hope not.
Maybe we wouldn't know.
Yeah, I try really hard to be careful about what I tell people.
Yeah, we take it seriously.
I take it very seriously,
Yeah.
and I know everyone's situation is really different. The worst piece of advice I ever gotten that actually made me want to quit my job at Nintendo was someone in a position of authority told me that there was specific things that I needed to do as a woman. And how I interact with male executives need to be done in a certain, I'm trying not to be super detailed on this, but needed to be done in a specific way that I did not agree with. And it really upset me.
That's a capital Y yikes.
The person that was talking to me about this was another woman,
Right.
which made it worse.
Right.
Because it was just like, if I don't even have someone to look up to in this career that can help guide me through these really challenging, business conversations that you're having, these relationships that you're having, trying to navigate this, like, who do I turn to for that,
Right.
And it was deeply upsetting to me
Yeah.
that this happened. I could not, the moment that this person was giving me this advice, I literally felt my soul, like, leaving my body. And I was like looking down at myself, like, why are you here? Like, how did this happen? How am I in this situation right now? It was actually unbelievable. And I struggled a lot with that for a long time.
Yeah, when you told me about this, I couldn't believe it because it was
It's
so
unbelievable.
Because it was so ridiculous. And then B also was like, I don't know really what to say.
Right.
Because this is like a topic that obviously, as a man, unfortunately, it's different for me.
Exactly.
So it's hard for me to really grasp
Yeah.
the full scope of this situation.
Exactly.
So I may have been a bit more useless than usual in that point.
Exactly.
So I apologize
That's why
for that.
it was even harder when this person was another woman. I'm like, how could you say this to somebody?
Yeah.
To a person that you are supposed to be mentoring
Yeah.
in their career. Be careful with the advice that you're saying to people, even if you have good intentions.
Right.
Like, that is maybe be careful with that.
Yeah. For me, there was kind of a mantra that would go around, which was like, well, if you want to get something done at Nintendo, it's probably going to take a really long time. And it's like, well, you're probably going to hear no for, the first 9 times, and then maybe you can get to yes.
Yeah.
Or it's like, well, if you're dealing with Japan, maybe you need to trick them into thinking that it was their idea. It was like, can't an idea just have merit on its own? We have to
Right.
do this
Song and dance.
4D chess to convince somebody
Yeah.
to do something that's a good idea. And that was true some of the time. Things did move slowly.
Right.
Which I understood and I appreciated. But there were some times when it was like, it's moving a little too slowly. Mm-hmm. And does it really need to be this way? And can we skip, maybe rejections
For the sake of rejection.
5 through 9? Just
Yeah.
but people are like, well, this is just the way it is. This is just how
Yeah,
things work.
that's
It's like,
true.
this is kind of a bummer.
It's like you shouldn't accept this way of working.
Right.
Sometimes you wanted to say that.
Right,
You know?
right.
Yeah.
The other thing was, again, this relates to you.
Me.
There was a moment where a year where you were definitely ready to be promoted. And it unfortunately didn't happen. There's a lot of people who ultimately make that decision.
Right, sure.
Certainly wasn't me. For the record,
putting that out there.
For the
people.
record. But I was in the terrible position of delivering this news to you and telling you
it's pretty bad.
Why it didn't happen and why it couldn't happen for you now and why you just needed to wait another year. And that was a terrible position to be in because I didn't believe this, obviously.
Right.
I didn't think this was right, but I had to be the messenger.
That's the worst.
On this.
Being the messenger is so bad
Right,
in these situations.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that
you don't want
was
people
rough.
to be the messenger. It's not your choice. You just feel like you're like backed into a corner to have to do this to something that you actually care about. It's like, oh, that sucks.
Right.
You know?
So that one was really rough.
Yeah.
The Natrix is next. Hey, Kit and Krysta, did your team at Nintendo have any holiday traditions such as a Secret Santa gift exchange, office decorating, or a holiday party? I would be interested to hear how much Nintendo's Redwood office embraced the holiday spirit. Well, we had wanted to do a big story time about the best and worst holiday parties we went to while we were at Nintendo.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I think we're going to run out of time.
We're running out of time.
Because we're not doing a story time next week.
Yeah.
So that might need to wait until next year, actually.
You have to wait till next year.
I know. It's a long time. Okay, good. I just totally followed my own advice from the last one. Sometimes these things take time and you just got to live with it.
You got to reject this question 9 times before you answer it.
Our team, though, we always did a white elephant.
Yes.
Which was fun and ridiculous.
It was definitely fun and ridiculous.
We had a great tradition of our team going to Benihana.
Love Benihana.
Strictly only Benihana.
Yes.
That was always a lot of fun. It was always pretty festive in the office.
It's festive.
Was pretty.
This tree used to be in my office.
Yeah, well decorated.
Yeah.
We got all these million sweaters that we're wearing all the time.
Yeah, exactly. We stole a Christmas tree that was in the office for a video, so it was very festive.
Right. So I think it was a good time.
It was nice. Sure. Yeah, I liked it.
Yeah. And we got a pretty nice, like, solid, like, 10-day break.
We had holiday shutdown.
And that was one of the few times where, like, the emails did stop.
Yeah, because everybody
globally, because even in Japan, like, they have the New Year's holiday, which is a big deal for them.
Yeah.
Christmas is not so much a big deal.
Yeah.
Unless you're eating some KFC with, your boo.
Yeah. It's a Valentine's Day holiday.
Yeah, but you get KFC.
You do. You get KFC.
That is the thing to do.
And you go to a theme park and you like tell the girl that you
canoodle,
have a crush on, that they're in love with her or whatever,
right,
vice versa. Yeah.
Yeah. So that was also a very nice, restful thing to have.
It is really nice. Yeah.
Shuriken. Hello. Oh no, I can't endorse this. Hello, Kitty Kong and Christy Kong. Wow. Well, I think Shuriken's getting back at me for that small dig I had last week.
With the Ken in the can.
This is good. This is a little back and forth. When a game becomes super popular out of nowhere, like Among Us, I love that.
Among Us?
Fall Guys, Fortnite, or even Minecraft, did you guys ever analyze what made the game so popular in the first place? Did a game like that ever affect Nintendo, or did they just not care? Our third-party team would analyze this,
deeply,
and they would be all over these games.
They would be.
And they would be
trying to get him onto Switch as fast as possible.
Breathing down your neck. Like, we need to include this in everything. Yeah. This is a major priority. Mm-hmm. You need to.
Sometimes these games weren't on Switch, is the thing.
Oh, I was thinking of games that were on Switch when they came to Switch.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Because all these games, these games are all on Switch.
These games have come to Switch eventually.
Right.
But they did not start there.
Not in all cases. Yeah, that's true. But even then, they would look closely at those. But yeah, once they came to Switch, it was on, and they were just...
Oh my gosh.
They were, like, pestering you daily.
Yeah.
Of, like, do something with this,
Totally.
But frankly, I mean, these games were big money makers. So it makes sense.
And they're fun. So...
Yeah.
People like them for a reason.
Yeah, like all these...
They trend for a reason.
These games were all really popular on Nintendo systems.
Right.
Like, the Switch version of Fortnite, like, you'd be surprised, like... in the pecking order of the systems, like the Switch version was like a juggernaut on Fortnite.
Yeah, exactly. And Minecraft too, I think.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So did they not care? No, they absolutely.
They cared a lot.
They knew it and they cared a lot.
Yeah, exactly.
Sky on PC is next. Hi, Kit and Krysta. When it comes to playing games both new and old, do you find that you can overlook mediocre or dated visuals if the game is fun enough? I've had friends who quit games like Yakuza 0 in the past because the game looks dated. That game looks great.
I don't think that game
What are you
looks
talking
dated.
about?
Yeah, what do you mean?
Curious what your take is given Nintendo's history of fun, yet technologically behind the curve games. For me, nice graphics are a perk.
Yeah.
I don't need it. I don't expect it, which is probably why I'm totally fine with the Pokemon Scarlet and Violet stuff. I'm just like,
Yeah, me
it is
too.
what it is.
Yeah, I don't mind. Well, I guess let me caveat that by saying, if I expect a game to rank very high graphically, I will be disappointed if it doesn't. Like a game like God of War, for example.
Oh, sure.
I'm playing it partially because I want to look at the beautiful graphics
Yeah.
and like, be immersed in that narrative. So I'm going in with the high expectation that this game is going to look great.
Yeah.
So if that game looked bad, I think I would be a little bit disappointed.
Yeah.
But for a game, that I know that it's more about the gameplay or more about other aspects that makes it fun, I'm not like too troubled by graphics.
Yeah.
Or I'm not too I don't care that much
Yeah.
about
I'm less forgiving of games that feel clunky or feel dated.
Yeah. Slow load times.
Like, again, Pokemon is an example. I think that game feels clunky and a bit dated in places, and that's where I do get irritated. Versus the graphics, where I'm like, eh.
Yeah, the graphics I don't care. I do care when I get stuck in an olive and have to put the game down. I do care about that.
Pikmin Sneeze Cov is next with a very timely question. Happy festive winter season, Kit and Krysta. Back in 2011 when 3DS launched, the system appeared in a music video of Mariah Carey. I'd like to ask, do you know whether Nintendo themselves approached her, the label, and sponsored the appearance? And how does Nintendo approach celebrities in general to promote Nintendo games and systems? Thanks. And we have this linked. So was this Justin Bieber and Mariah Carey?
I think so.
In the same video,
they
right.
did some sort of duet for
Right.
All I Want for Christmas. Justin Bieber was a big Nintendo fan.
Nintendo was early on Justin Bieber. Don't ask me how.
We launched him at the Nintendo World Store.
Whoever was in charge of this, you got something. You got the eye or the magic touch.
I know exactly who did
Yeah, he
this.
did an appearance at the Nintendo store before he became a megastar.
Before he became Justin Bieber.
Yes.
He was like a child.
I can't believe that. That's amazing.
So that was part of the reason why he was in this
Yeah.
video, and why 3DS is in this video.
This video is a little strange. This is worth
Yeah.
watching if you haven't seen it.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a music video, but it
Story kind of
very
thing?
product placement heavy.
Yeah.
Like he's shopping and they're in some store with these perfectly laid out 3DS systems and
Yeah.
he's very carefully putting it into his
little
shopping cart.
bag or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. But product placement was a big part of the advertising team's job.
Yeah.
And they would do deals with celebrities to include product placements in the videos, in their videos or in TV shows or whatever. And it went both ways. Sometimes it came from the celebrity themselves. Like somebody may have just a natural love for Nintendo and want to include something in a show or in the music video. But other times it was the team going to the celebrity asking for these kinds of sponsorship opportunities.
Yeah,
So-
in this case, I can't recall who reached out to who first.
Yeah.
But like you said, the advertising team would be involved, and Nintendo has a dedicated celebrity team who is always searching out these sorts of opportunities.
Yeah.
This was a really good one, even though the execution was a little strange.
I like that puppy. It's
yeah,
really cute.
Yeah.
Yeah, very festive.
Our last question is from vgmlife. Thanks for the pronunciation guide. As always, having also worked for a Japanese employer, I've found some mannerisms and customs from there have stayed with me in my current American way of life. I take my shoes off every time I enter my apartment, even though I don't really have to, and I've caught myself avoiding constant eye contact with people. Maintaining prolonged eye contact is seen as disrespectful. After your business trips to NCL, have either of you found yourself making a habit of these things long after returning? If not, are there any Japanese customs you wish we observed more stateside?
Yeah, well, I'm Asian, so I do have a lot of the similarities in my daily life already.
The shoes thing is good.
Don't wear your shoes in your house, guys.
Yeah.
This is my big PSA to the world.
Growing up in my parents' house, it was a shoes on. And it never really clicked with me until I got to college and talked to some people who did the shoes off thing.
Yeah.
And it was yeah, people should take their shoes off. That's gross.
Yeah, it's pretty gross.
You think of all the things you
Yeah.
tracking around
Yeah,
when you're just
exactly.
out and about. Who knows what that is? Do not bring that into your house.
Yeah.
So now I don't do shoes either.
Yeah. Seems like a lot of people have adopted shoes off.
Right.
Which is great. I think the bowing, sometimes I catch myself doing that to other, just non-business Japanese
no.
people. Sometimes.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh yeah, I don't need to do this anymore. Or even in when I write sometimes when I write emails to other Japanese, like we had like somebody from a Japanese company reach out to us for like a sponsorship thing, and I snapped back to my Japanese email formalities, like where you have like the san at the end of their last name, to you don't call people by their first names, or you add like a Mr. or Miss or something like that. So some of that I do recall from working with a Japanese company.
Yeah, I mean, Japan's just in general an extremely orderly place, which is nice.
Yeah.
I mean, I think in comparison, the United States is extremely chaotic.
Yes.
And I kind of, it's like, sometimes I like the Japan thing, but sometimes I like the chaos too.
Me too, yeah.
Yeah.
I do like the respect for quiet places.
Yes.
Though. I think that's
a good one.
Sometimes you fall into the trap of being like seen as the loud American.
Right.
And sometimes you want some peace and quiet. Like when you're sitting in a coffee shop, you don't need the guy that's watching like Lost for the 8th time on his laptop full volume, or like the guy that's shouting into his speakerphone.
Right.
Like maybe you just want to drink your coffee in like in peace and quiet. I don't know.
Agree.
I'm just saying.
I think that's the one.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Well, thank you all for the questions.
Yeah,
we now
always
have
great.
some wonderful Patreon superstars to shout out.
We do.
Yeah.
I'm going first again.
Take it away.
Aaron Hash.
Ben Eichhorn.
MaruMayhem.
Eigenverse.
Jordan Collett.
KissMyFlapjack.
Mike Chin.
Mr. Rogers.
RainTech.
Roy Eschke.
Switching it up _
Sephazon.
TheSharkAmongMen.
vgmlife.
Link, the hero of wins.
Angela Bycroft.
And Molly.
And her pig Molly.
TurboChargeNerd.
And the newest superstar.
Woohoo!
Welcome, Thomas O'Rourke.
Thank you, superstars. You guys are the best. And now let's get to our One Up Club graduation ceremony.
Indeed.
Aaron Burgundy.
Adam and Ansley.
Ejan Malari.
Alejandro.
Alexandra Pratt.
Astrodev.
Bookham Dano.
Brad, SF56.
Brooke.
Bruce Stash.
Chancellor Fairley.
Christopher Lay.
Cozy Tar.
Captain Cinnamon Buns.
Captain Alex.
C. Roper 17.
Daniel Cold.
Daniel Valencia.
Dachshund.
Doodoo Face.
Douglas Chomix.
Dino Punch.
Elite Peach.
S-Bars 50.
Ezrato.
Fart Priest 69.
Furbound.
Fernie and Jess Forever.
Fred Rossi.
Gar.
Garrett Holfish.
Ian Shea.
Israel Izzy.
Jay Rando.
Jabroni Jones.
Jackie Z.
JK99.
JBJ.
Jeff Yoakum.
Jeffrey Hernandez.
Jerry 92602.
Jesse Hernandez.
John Responte.
Jonathan Rowe.
Jordan Hemmerly.
Joseph DeHaze.
Joshua Clements.
Juji Fruit.
Jess Camtro.
Kai Commercio.
Kala 2796.
Kelp Shake.
Kevin Delane.
Christorati Kid.
Christopia Party With Me.
Kyle Gamer Barry Rookie.
Kyle Kretzer.
Kyle LaBouffe.
Kyler Nelson.
Linnell Stickman.
Lego My Frago.
Lemma.
Lit.
Lucas Pico.
Mad Dog 5981.
Marky Man 64.
Matthew Rewald.
Mecha Dragon 101.
Megan.
Michael Cravens.
Michael White.
Mikey.
Mr. Andy Pong.
Murph.
Mytran.
Nasir.
Nathan Burkhart.
Panda Buns.
Paul Gale Network.
Piano Psychopath.
Prime Factor.
Prince Charmless.
Quinn Cardigan.
Reaver.
Ray Chiron.
Ryoji Utsuha Okuu.
Renee Rivers.
Reese Williams.
Rio 1.
RJ Kern.
Rob Osborne.
Rox.
Ryan Etza.
Sam Nealon.
Sharif Jackson.
Sheer Cold Vanille.
Shinryu.
Slow Bro.
Schmeagles.
Shrews.
Silly Ferret.
Spicy Munchkins.
Steel Citron.
Tefew.
Thomas Alvarez.
Travis Torline.
True Pitch.
Tugs Puppy Bear.
Tuskoob.
Tyler Geis.
Video Game Stupid.
Virtual Bot.
Wicked Davy.
Will Ernst.
Will Johnson.
Zootiverve.
Zelgaroth.
And Zroid.
Yay!
Nice.
Some new names in there.
Yeah.
And I couldn't pronounce them. So
Oh.
I'm sorry. As always, thank you so much for our wonderful Patreon subscribers for supporting all of this. If you want to join us, we are at patreon.com/KitandKrysta.
Indeed. If you are watching on video, do us a favor and subscribe to this very channel. And if you're listening on audio, do us a favor and leave a 5-star review. Thank you very much.
And a comment.
All these things,
All
please.
the things.
Yes.
We're also on some other social media channels. We're on Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and of course, YouTube, which is where you are now. I think that's it.
That's it.
Yeah. All right. We hope you enjoyed this podcast, and we'll see you guys later.
Bye.
Bye.